show will begin in 5 minutes. Three minutes until showtime. Heads up, the show kicks off in 90 seconds. One minute until airtime. We're on the air in 30 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
It's time for the PIAA Class 1A championship game between the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders and the Clairton Bears. Today's broadcast on the PIAA Radio Network is brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, UPMC, and the NFHS Network. Let's send it out to Cumberland Valley High School's Chapman Field. With the call of the game, here's Bob McCool and Eric Thomas.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Chapman Field. It is the home of the PIAA Football Championships, and we are getting rolling with the Single A Championship. Clairton Bears, Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders going after one another, and this a brand new venture for the PIAA of a radio network that's going to bring you all 6 championship games, beginning now and rolling all the way through Saturday night for the 6A Championship. We are ecstatic to be here to bring you these broadcasts alongside Eric Thomas. My name is Bob McCool, getting you set for Clairton and Bishop Guilfoyle. And we're going to get into football in a moment, but first we're going to talk about what this is all about. Eric, this is a brand new venture. The PIAA is 100% behind it. It is here. It is needed, it is wanted, and we are happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, we sure are. This is going to be a great weekend of football. We got a lot of new teams here. We got a couple of rematches here that I know for sure I'm looking forward to tomorrow night and Saturday afternoon. This is going to be a great weekend of football. It's about time we put this together. We've got the backing from a lot of people behind the scenes that we thank a whole lot for. We thank our neighbors to the west in Ohio, Tim Stride, really an integral part in helping us get this on the road and to the launching pad, as I've been telling people all week. And now it's the easy part. Now we get to talk about football and we get to talk about these games. And we start off with a great one here in Single A today.
Yeah, before we get into that, see, Eric brought up the word neighbors. Let's talk about that. Tell your neighbors about this. Let them know that they can do it. It's as easy as finding the location. It could be as easy as just going on the PIAA website, and it's right there. It says click on, and they can watch it no matter where they are. If they're in Pennsylvania, obviously they can do it, but wherever they are, beyond the borders of the state of Pennsylvania. That's the beauty of this. It is not just about the Commonwealth, because there's people everywhere who want to know what's happening in these PIAA championships, and that's what we are here for, to bring these games to you. So let's get into it. The Clairton Bears, the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders. Clairton's 14-1, District 7 champion. The Marauders, the District 6 champions, are 13-2. This calling card for the Clairton Bears is what they have been able to do defensively. They have more shutouts than the Los Angeles Dodgers pitching staff, but they have dudes that can get it done, and Brandon Murphy is a big part of that defense, and he's also just a dude who can get things done.
Over 200 tackles his first 2 years. He's got Division I offers everywhere across the country. Indiana, Florida, Kentucky, Penn State offered him. I don't know how Penn State's recruiting class is going to look coming up here, but
we'll have a coach by the time he's a senior.
we might have breaking news today. But everybody is offering this kid, and I'm telling you, when we saw him a couple weeks ago in the WPIL final, at the right time when he needed to make a play, Laurel is going in for the game-winning touchdown in that game, and at the very last second pokes the ball out from Colton Carlson, all-world player on the Laurel side. Brandon Murphy is going to be in the middle of a bunch of plays today. You're going to call his name out a lot. He can fly around the field. He's physical. He loves to hit you. And, oh, by the way, he's pretty good on offense, too. So if they want to look for him on a deep ball or give him a carry or two here or there, they can do all of that. He is a multi-talented player, both sides of the football.
Yeah, and the guy who's orchestrating all of this, it doesn't surprise you if you know Wayne Wade that it starts with defense for the Clairton Bears, because he's been around it. He is a Clairton Bear. He grew up with in the Clairton School District, was the defensive coordinator for a number of years through some of their glory runs in the early 2000s, and then takes over now in his 12th season. He's 121-30 in his 12 seasons, but he understands the community, the players, and the kids that are Clairton Bears and how much the game of football means for these kids.
And they've got the backing now. Tyler Boyd, everybody knows his story, being the former Bear himself, Cincinnati Bengal, longtime NFL player now, kicked in a lot of resources. They built the stadium up. They've got turf. They put in new bleachers. They're about to add new facilities around the field. The Clairton program is humming right now. It's been a long time since they've been in this situation, though, and they feel like they've watched all these other teams in Single A, especially the one that they're going to play today in Guilfoyle, basically build their history over the last 12, 13 years right in front of them, and they're like, guys, we're still here. We just need the right place, the right time to break through. They thought they had it last year. They pushed Fort Cherry to the ropes. Fort Cherry then ultimately loses in the semifinals. They lost that WPIL title game by a point. They were not healthy. They've had the exact same starting lineup all 15 games this season. They have not had one injury that they've had to worry about. Jeff Deion Lovelace, Pompey has been healthy all year. He had a shoulder injury last year. All these guys have been healthy the whole season. They feel like it is their time to get back and take back the prize they feel like they should have never given up in the first place.
Well, that's the team that they gave it up to going back to 2016. In fact, 2014 and 16, Clairton lost to Bishop Guilfoyle in the single A championship. That's the last time they were here, 2016. But again, they were a juggernaut in the years before that, winning 4 straight state titles from 09 to 2012. 4-3 all time in state championship games, and 19-7 all time in the PIAA playoffs. This, their 12th time into the PIAA playoffs. The Marauders, on the other hand, it starts with the guy who built this program into what it is, and that's Justin Wheeler. This is his 15th season with the Marauders. He's a 161-41. 9th PIAA appearance. They're 16-3 all time in the PIAA playoffs. They've won 5 titles. And Eric just alluded to it. It's all been in bunches ever since Justin Wheeler came to Bishop Guilfoyle. He has built this program into one of the best, if not the best, single-A football teams in the state of Pennsylvania.
You know, you look at the other single-A programs in this state, Bob, that are historically known. Steel High has been playing football since the late 1800s. Southern Columbia, before they moved up to 2A, probably the most prominent power in single-A. Rochester, back in the day under Gene Matsuk, prominent team. All established programs. This Bishop Guilfoyle team did not have a PIAA state tournament win until 2014. The school's been around forever. It took Justin Wheeler getting there in 2012, and all they've done since then, 11 appearances in the District 6 championship game. They've won 9 of them. They're coming here for a 6th title, and if they win that today, they join the likes of Southern Columbia, St. Joe's Prep, Archbishop Wood, and Berwick as the only programs in the state that have won 6 or more titles. That's pretty good company to be in, and the fact that they've done this all since 2014, 11 years, is remarkable.
And then you take a look at the microcosm of the 2025 season. You mentioned about Clairton, and Wayne Wade said how blessed he feels that they have been because they have stayed injury-free. That's not the case with Bishop Guilfoyle. They lost Torian Consiglio early on in the season. He was going to be their alpha, but Justin Wheeler has rebooted this football team and what they can do offensively, still to the degree that they're scoring over 30 points per game. He's done it with his son Justin as the quarterback, but the guy who's at the heart of everything they do offensively is Jake Kissel.
Yeah, Consiglio last year in the semifinals and the finals, 260 yards rushing. He was a beast in the title game last year against Port Allegheny. 160 yards rushing in that game. Suffered a really gruesome arm injury early in the year. In fact, it was the first game of the year. He took a hit right on his arm and just has not been able to get out there for the whole year. But you're talking about losing 1,200 yards of rushing attack, and then you put Jay Kissel in there, and all he does is go for 1,500, closing it on 1,600, and 31 touchdowns. It is no secret what they're going to do when he is on the field. They are going to play him both at quarterback and at running back. They are going to throw 4 tight ends out there at one point to run the football, and they may need it today against this Clairton defense. But Kissel has been the engine that's made this thing go. And last week when he had to step in for Justin Wheeler, who got a little dinged up in that semi against Belmont, first play, 53-yard touchdown pass. Goes on and accounts for 4 more touchdowns the rest of the night. He is an absolute spark for this offense, and he will be the focal point of it from the jump.
And he's also 220 pounds. That's the piece of this that you can't forget. The size goes to Guilfoyle, the athleticism and the speed goes to Clairton. So there's no question about how, when you talk about styles win fights, this is 2 very opposite styles going after one another, and that's the concern. We talked with Wayne Wade about it going into this game. Look, we can't let them put together 8, 10, 12 play drives and eat up the time on the clock. Justin Wheeler said we have got to keep them contained within a box. We are up against a break. We're going to take that break, and when we come back on the other side, it's kickoff time of the Single A Championship live on the PIAA Radio Network.
Fans, you can have it in white, chocolate, strawberry, or practically any flavor you like. It's the beauty of milk, and no other drink quenches a king-size thirst like milk. After practice, reach beyond the colas and other drinks and get your hands on a tall, cold glass of milk and enjoy. Whole milk, whole nutrition. The PIAA thanks the Allied Milk Producers of Pennsylvania for supplying our athletes with delicious chocolate milk for their bus rides home after today's championships. Baron Rings are the official championship ring of the PIAA. For more information or to order your custom championship rings, please go to baronrings.com. That website, once again, is baronrings.com to order your custom championship rings today.
Thank you for over 40 years of trust. During those years, we've helped thousands of people just like you, our neighbors. We're here for you. We're here for our community. We're here for our region. The people that we worry about the most are the people who never hire an attorney. That's what the insurance company wants. When you do call us, you'll know that you have the firm with over 40 years of experience. And remember, there's never a fee unless we get money for you.
What is life-changing medicine? The discovery of cancer at the earliest possible stage? Challenging limits and transforming the impossible into reality? Or connecting people to doctors and specialists when they need it most? At UPMC, we believe life-changing medicine is all those things. Our goal is to change the world of medicine and the lives of those around us. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
With over 40 years of experience, Edgar Snyder & Associates has seen every trick in the book. When you hire their law firm, they'll fight the insurance company every day to get you the money you deserve. Call them at 1-800-94-EDGAR. Alongside Eric Thomas, my name is Bob McCool. You're listening to the PIAA Radio Network. The Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders at 13-2 against the District 6 champions against the 14-1 Clairton Bears. That's the matchup for the Single A championship. And an interesting early beginning, Eric, and only the dynamic of who's going to do what. Bishop Guilfoyle wins the coin toss, and Clairton elects to put their offense on the field first, not their defense.
I kind of like this move by Guilfoyle because if you're going to win this game, Bob, you're going to have to get your defense on the Guilfoyle side kind of in tune with how this is going to go, and you want to make sure that side establishes the physicality first. You don't want to put this Clairton D on the field first. I don't think you want them getting any kind of momentum. They sort of thrive on the thing snowballing for them and going against you. So if I'm Guilfoyle, I like putting my D out there first, see if they can stand the test up here. This is going to be a much different Clairton offense, too. They've gone more to a power run style of offense. They line up in the T a lot. The explosive plays have not always been there in the postseason. Last week they were against, I think you and I might have been able to score in that game last week if we suited up for Clairton. But the explosiveness has kind of not been there as much as the power run game has. So Guilfoyle is going to get a test right away when they line up.
Well, you can hear the wind in our crowd mic here at Chapman Field at Como Valley High School. And the kickoff by Carter Boland to the return man for Clairton is Dante Wright. He cannot field it. It rolls into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. And Clairton will get the football at the 20-yard line to start the first series of this football game. But it's brisk. There's no question about it. 28 degrees is our game time temperature. Actually, 35 degrees is our game time temperature. It feels a lot colder than that with the wind blowing. And right now, the wind kind of blowing across the field here at Chapman Field. As you're going to down the field, it's right now for Clairton a bit in their face as they begin 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line under senior quarterback Jeff Thompson. 2,300 plus yards passing on the season at 74%. He's got 3 receivers on the left side. One of them goes in motion. They'll give it to Deion Pompey, and Pompey will get to the line of scrimmage and not much further.
Yeah, Connor Onkenak, that time, the middle linebacker, he's been really good this season, 6 tackles for loss. It's going to really, I think, be up to these linebackers in the second level of this Guilfoyle defense because the guys up front, they're going to have a lot of problems getting penetration against this massive Clairton offensive line.
We'll give you the starters as this series unfolds. It's 2nd and 9 as Pompey now shifts out of the backfield to one of the receivers on the left side with 2 others beside him. And Tevez Armstrong shifts into the backfield. Right now, sidecar left to Thompson. It's a high snap. Thompson has to go up and get it, and now just kind of unloads it. And the ball is on the ground. We'll see if they'll call that a forward pass. They will. It's an incomplete pass. Thompson actually threw that with his left hand, just trying to get rid of it in the direction of Pompey. Unfortunate, it hit the ground.
They've had a lot of problems in the postseason with snaps, particularly on punts. They could not get one really to go in the right direction against Laurel in the WPIAL final. It's carried over to this game. Last week, it wasn't that big of a factor. You beat a team 57-0. That's not going to come to the forefront. A game like today, though, that's going to be a big problem if they don't get that under control here early on.
Sophomore Quentin Thompson is the center, the younger brother of the quarterback Jeff Thompson. Cash Hammonds, Chad Law, the guards. Avon Pompey and Dakota Harris are the tackles. Here's a little swing pass out for Murphy. Needs a couple of blocks. He'll get some, but he won't get enough as he has wrapped up across the 25 out to about the 27. A gain of 6, and it's going to bring up 4th down for the Bears.
That was not a great throw by Thompson. It was a little high. It looks like the wind got underneath that a little bit and just made Murphy go up to get it. He didn't have time to catch it in stride. The BG defense reacts. And here we go. Early moment here in this game.
And Clairton is going to go for it. 4th and 3 from their own 27 rather than punt it into the wind. But now we're getting a penalty flag before the snap of the football. Did the Marauders jump off sides? They did.
Wow.
Clairton gets Bishop Guilfoyle to jump off sides, and as a result of that, the Bears pick up their first down in the football game, and they do it by way of a penalty.
Thompson has been going to a hard count. He did it early on in the first couple of possessions. So then he went to that silent count where he was clapping on 2nd down. That time he went to the clap, and Guilfoyle actually bit on it. That's an early mistake right there. That's not something that Guilfoyle has done a lot this season, jump off sides on the count.
So a fresh set of downs for the Bears now from their own 32-yard line. The give is to Pompey, trying to find some daylight, and he breaks through. He's across the 40, 45, and 50, and into Bishop Guilfoyle territory. Dion Pompey, after the penalty, takes it for another Bear first down. This one they earn on their own.
Well, no surprise, the left side of the offensive line with Avon Pompey and also that left guard Cash Hammond. Pompey is a load on that left side. He initially thought he was going to go either up the middle or to the right a little bit, and then just slightly broke back to the left. There was the open lane, led there by his offensive line. Big gain for Clairton.
22 yards to the Guilfoyle 46-yard line. Opening series, a little pop pass for the motion man, and that's Dante Wright trying to turn the right edge. Breaks a tackle inside the 35-30, and finally the Marauder defense will bring him down at about the 27-yard line. Back-to-back first downs for the Bears.
This is the type of explosiveness that we have not seen from Clairton overall in the playoffs. I mean, they had to go point for point with Jeanette, and they really could never get anything going against Laurel in that WPIAL final on a gorgeous day. There was no wind, there was no weather to speak of. They just have not been able to get this offense on track and be as explosive as they were all year. Back-to-back plays, that's a good sign for this Clairton team. As good as their defense is, they really, when their offense gets rolling downhill, that is the problem for opposing teams.
So that will go as a completed pass on that little pop pass. It's a 19-yard pickup. It's 1st and 10 now for the Bears at the 27-yard line. Here's a swing pass out to Pompey, and that might be a lateral depending on the spot. It looks like the Marauders have recovered the football if the officials agree. They did not signal incomplete pass yet, but we're going to have a conference here between the officials. Was Pompey behind Thompson when he threw it? If so, it's a lateral. It is. Bishop Guilfoyle will end up with the football. First mistake of the game comes on a turnover by Clairton.
Right design of the play, and Guilfoyle having to pounce on that. This Clairton team will not leave the door open much, but when they do, you've got to kick that thing open. And Guilfoyle comes up with the first big play defensively of the afternoon.
And so the Marauders are going to get the football for the first time with 9:08 left to go in the first quarter, and after the turnover, they actually lost 6 yards on the play, which gives you a pretty good indication that it was indeed behind the quarterback on the loss of 6. So the Marauders will start 1st and 10 from their own 33. Under the direction of sophomore quarterback Justin Wheeler, the coach's son, and they will run the football for maybe a gain of 2 to the 35-yard line. That's it.
They won't disguise much. I mean, when they bring in the extra blockers and Kissel's in there, he's going to be the guy that carries the football. Wheeler was excellent last week carrying the football. Not sure how much we're going to see of him do that today. He was banged up in that game, left it actually for a little bit. He's got a brace on that knee today. Kissel might be the go the entire way here. This is a good call by Justin Wheeler, the head coach, to make sure his best player is going to touch the ball, kind of like a point guard. Let it get it in his hands every play.
Kissel's going to take the snap again, trying to get something up the middle against this tough Clairton defense, and they say no. They stop Kissel at the line of scrimmage, so after gaining 2 on the first play, Kissel gets back to the line of scrimmage. It will bring up a quick 3rd and 8 now for Clairton.
You're talking about trying to run against Avon Pompey and Dakota Harris, who in the middle 6'4", 310, 6'2", 285. Good luck. You better be on your blocks if you're doing that today.
And now on 3rd and 8, here comes Justin Wheeler. Wheeler throwing the footballs at 68% on the season. Again, limited in some time in terms of what they've done, in terms of schemes with Kissel as they've done, and also because of injuries. 9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions for the sophomore quarterback. He will split one receiver out to his left and then 3 to his right, looking to throw underneath route, and it's completed. Pass is caught by Evan Schimminger, and he is wrapped up shy of the 40. Clairton defense will give up the completion, but not enough for a first down as they gain just 4 to the 39-yard line.
Well, I'm not sure how you fit that ball over top of the defender either. Schimminger is sneaky. He made a couple of nice plays last week against Belmont where he got behind defenders and made some plays. Kind of snuck in there too. Like that was an excellent pass by Wheeler, but just not enough. Like the design of it, but you got to be a little bit quicker or throw that to the sticks if you're going to beat this Clairton defense.
So the Marauders will punt the football. Bolin with some wind at his back, but it's a cross wind. Murphy, the return man, will let it blow out. Will actually blow out of bounds. Everything's kind of blowing across, down and across the field, and so it is a punt out of bounds. And Bishop Guilfoyle, unable to pick up a first down, will give it back to Clairton with 7:02 left to play in quarter number 1 in a scoreless football game so far to start. But based on the track record of these two teams, it doesn't really surprise you a whole lot. We don't expect this to be a high-scoring football game.
No, I think some people believe that Clairton's offense is going to explode in this game. Two things. I just don't know that the conditions are going to allow that. And 2, I don't know that this Guilfoyle defense is going to allow that. I believe if this game is going to be won by Guilfoyle, Bob, they're going to have to come up with a play like a pick 6 or a fumble recovery, get them short field or a punt that backs up Clairton and allows the defense to take off.
Here's a direct snap, not to Thompson, but instead to Michael Ruffin. He's trying to go outside, and it's nothing but purple and white jerseys for Bishop Guilfoyle. They're going to wrap him up for a loss back to the 29-yard line. That's a loss of 6 yards on first down.
Yeah, they like to mix and match the runners here. Ruffin, Wright, Lovelace, Pompey, all those guys. But there's a reason why Bishop Guilfoyle now has 122 tackles for loss. They can fly to the football. It's not the type of speed that Clairton has, but they can fly to the football and make the defensive play. Excellent job that time, especially with Ruffin, who's one of these guys that runs the 4.5, 4.4 40s for this Bears team.
They split 3 to the right and then Murphy out to the left with Thompson back to take the snap behind it in the shotgun. Now Pompey shifts out of the backfield as well. They're going to throw to that one. That's Murphy, who makes the catch and then straight arms his way to about the 40. They get back what they lost on the first play and a little bit more, but the Bears are going to be in a 3rd and about 5 at the 40-yard line.
Tyson Listoki, the corner on that side, giving him a little bit of space to make the catch. You've got to keep these guys in front of you defensively if you're Bishop Guilfoyle. How about Listoki, though, Bob? Doesn't come out for the team until last year as a junior, and then all he does is turn in one of the best performances offensively this season. He's got 8 interceptions on the year. He is by far their best cover guy, and he's going one-on-one with maybe the best player on the field, period, this afternoon.
3rd and 5 at the 40. Wright will now shift into the backfield, so Thompson with backs on either side of him. He's going to give it to Wright on 3rd and 5, looking for block, and he's just going to lower the shoulder, drive a tackler across the first down marker. Evan Schimminger came up to meet Dante Wright, and he just drove him backwards for a Clairton first down.
Yeah, where they're physical up front, the Bears, these runners have been playing more physical too. They've got the speed, but man, they can absolutely out-physical you. And when they go to this like jumbo set with Tevez Armstrong in the backfield, and they can give you 3 different looks, 4 different looks at who's going to carry it, these runners just love to lower the shoulder and just get nasty with you. And here we go with that heavy package.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line for Clairton on their 4th first down of this first quarter. And the give is to Pompey, and this time Guilfoyle will give up a little into Marauder side of the 50 at about the 49-yard line. So a gain of 3 on the play puts it into a 2nd and 7 for Clairton.
Yeah, just going with that power football that they've kind of thrived on here the last 4 or 5 weeks.
5-man defensive front for the Marauders with Jesse Georgiana as the nose guard. Declan Peterson, Enzo Lascoli are the tackles. Hayden Hosgood, Rocco Casciati are the ends on a 2nd and 7 for the Bears. And here's a little toss pitch right side for Pompey. And again, Bishop Guilfoyle is there. They're going to wrap him up. And it's Georgiana, the nose guard, who gets it. There's a flag on the play as well.
Might be for motion. I'm not sure that the Clairton player that came out to the near side got set.
They're looking to Justin Wheeler. He's already signaling he wants to decline the penalty. It is a motion penalty against Clairton. Bishop Guilfoyle will decline it. They'll take the play, which was a loss of 2. So the Bears go from their 49, from the Marauder 49 to their 49 on the loss of 2, puts them in a 3rd and 5.
Peterson, you mentioned him when you gave out the starters. He's their best defensive lineman, but Georgiana fought cancer, got all the way back from that, and they'll put him out there as an extra tight end, an extra blocker. They'll put him out there as a fullback, but he is the man in the middle that patrols that defensive front. Not too many high schools you see play a 5-man front. This Guilfoyle team thrives on it. They love it. And it's worked for him over the years. 3rd
and 5. Thompson going to roll out to his left, looking to stop and plant, throw. No, he's going to take off and run. He's not going to get enough. He's going to pick up maybe a yard or 2, and we'll see how Wayne Wade chooses to play this. It's going to bring up 4th down. They are in Guilfoyle territory at about the 48-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th and about 5, maybe 6. We call it 6 to pick up the 1st down.
Wayne Wade, I mean, if you got 4 downs, Wayne Wade's like, we got to use them. Like, that's why they give us 4 of them. If they gave us 8, we'd use 8. If they're giving us 4, we're going to use all 4. Why not? That's not Thompson's game, though. He'll run it in a short yardage situation, but when it breaks down, they dropped 8 that time. They only had 3 men up front. Nothing to do there for Thompson. Had to take off and run. That's not really his forte. Does have 8 rushing touchdowns, but he's not the dual threat type of quarterback that a lot of teams have implemented.
Karras Wooding split right, Murphy split left, and that's where they're looking on a one-on-one. It's a jump ball. Murphy going up with the defender, and Stokey is the defender, and they're going to say that Murphy wins. The battle comes down with the football. 1st down pickup for Clairton inside the 15-yard line.
Boy, Stokey had great inside position on the play, too. They actually have it double covered, and he's got the great inside position, judged it perfectly, but Murphy showing that athleticism and why so many teams love him, goes right up over top of him and pulls it in and wins the battle going to the ground. That was a heck of a play by Murphy.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line for the Clairton Bears after the 34-yard pickup. That's just throw it high and let your athlete win the battle, and that's exactly what the sophomore does. And it's 1st and 10 for Clairton. Deontay Wright will shift out from the right slot into the backfield opposite side of Pompey. It's Wright who's going to get the call. Wright looking for some daylight, gets a little, not much, to the 11 and a gain of 3.
Again, that left side of the offensive line, that is where Avon Pompey is. And he is pushing people out of the way early on. You know, I thought last week that Guilfoyle got a decent sample size of what Clairton can throw at them when they played Belmont. Belmont's got speed everywhere. They're going to have Division I players. They don't have the depth, and they don't have the experience. And now it's a little bit different. It's a different animal that they're facing here today.
A little different look here. There's a little T formation behind the quarterback as they'll give it to Pompey as Clairton goes a little old-school football. Pack the line of scrimmage, no receivers on the field, and Pompey will take it to about the 5. Gain of 6. It'll put them in a 3rd and 1 at the 5-yard line.
This is really what I like what this Clairton team has done now, is go more to this power offense. I love when they line up in this T. Extra blockers.
Thompson, the quarterback, and the ball's on the ground. They lost the handle, and Clairton will fall on it. Thompson will fall on the misexchange all the way back at the 13. They lose 8. It's going to be 4th down.
Again, the snaps, it's been an issue, and that's now twice in this game. They're fortunate this time. It's going to give Thompson a little bit more of room to throw the football, but they have got to get the snap situation under control. This is now twice in this game, and we saw it, I believe, 5 or 6 times in the district final a couple weeks ago at Acrisure Stadium, where they just could not get in sync.
Clairton not a position and not a team that wants to kick the football. So on 4th and 9 for Clairton at the Guilfoyle 13-yard line, they're going to go for it. Thompson looks right, throws back to left to Murphy, looking for a block. Murphy has the 10, the 5, dives for the pylon. Is he in? Touchdown, Clairton. They just threw a little screen pass for Murphy. He got 1 block and did the rest himself.
Bob, that is a Division I level player right there. Okay, you throw the ball to him basically laterally, and he's got to get through 2 defenders, and he just explodes up the sideline and dives for that end zone. That is why everybody in the country wants this kid. I mean, nobody can replicate that type of athleticism when you're preparing for it.
A little swinging gate action here as Thompson, the quarterback, will snap the football. And Ruffin is going to roll out and then try to throw it back to the middle of the field for Wright. It's broken up incomplete pass, and the 2-point conversion is denied. With 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Clairton on the board first. It is 6-0 Bears. We take a timeout. Back with more PIAA High School Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Today's game is streaming on the NFHS Network. With the NFHS Network, you can watch live and on-demand high school sports on any device, wherever you are. Text your friends and family who aren't at the game and invite them to watch live now at nfhsnetwork.com or with the NFHS Network app for Apple and Android.
Together, we bring more. Celebrate the milestones, big and small, in life, from your first state championship win to a family get-together. And make them more meaningful with beef. Visit beef.itswhatsfordinner.com for beef recipe inspirations and more. Transform your field with Digital Scoreboard's massive outdoor LED displays. Designed to handle any weather, they deliver bold visuals for scores, replays, and sponsor ads. Visit digitalscoreboards.net to get started.
Some see a high school football stadium. We see a place where Pennsylvanians come together as a community. The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA creating opportunities for student athletes to be seen across Pennsylvania.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
This game brought to you in part by UPMC, life-changing medicine. So far, game-changing drive for Clairton, an 11-play, 65-yard drive for the Bears. Finished off on the 35th touchdown pass of the season from Jeff Thompson as he finds Brandon Murphy for the 9th pass reception for the sophomore into the end zone from 13 yards out. And the decision for Clairton is a simple one, and that is the going for two is what they do.
Yeah, Wayne Wade told us before the game about their philosophy in going for two, and he pretty much said, you know, we get a couple of twos on you, and you got to start chasing that. They start to add up quick. The problem is if you don't get them, and you've got a sure thing kicking on the other side and bowling, that makes it a little bit interesting for this Guilfoyle team going forward. You don't have to chase anything, and you're not, if you score a touchdown and kick, you're not playing from behind at that point.
So the Marauders now back on the field offensively. Did not pick up a first down in their first series. They'll start this one from the 38-yard line. Play action fake. Wheeler's going to dump it off for Kissel. The flag down behind the Guilfoyle offense as Kissel gets a couple across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
I think we might have motion again on Guilfoyle. I'm not sure that the player to that side, it was Kissel who moved out that way. I don't know that he got set. Either that or it's the illegal man.
It is a procedure penalty against Bishop Guilfoyle. The first against the Marauders will back them up 5. Puts them back to the 33-yard line. It'll be first down and 15 for Bishop Guilfoyle. Our referee today is Jeremy Hospodor. The umpire is Ryan Pasternak. Head linesman is David Gilmore. Line judge is Shane Fry. Field judge Ryan Smith. Side judge is Scott Easton. The back judge is Daniel Boyer. They're out of District 9. And again, District 6 represented by Bishop Guilfoyle. District 7 represented by Clairton in this PIAA Single A Championship. The Marauders have won 5 titles. The Bears have won 4. Right now it's Clairton on top 6-0, and Bishop Guilfoyle backed up first down and 15 at the 33-yard line as the sun breaks through the clouds here at Mechanicsburg. Here's a little dump off for Schimminger, and Schimminger will pick up a couple before Murphy will wrap him up. They'll spot him at the 40 and a gain of 7 for Guilfoyle.
I like what they're doing with their passing attack here, trying to get it out to the flats like that and let their playmakers go get some yak after the catch or yards after the catch. But this Clairton defense, you know, one of the things that a lot of the opponents have talked about with Clairton this year, you think you have something against them, and then all of a sudden you don't. And their defense is so quick to react to that. And that time Murphy flew over there to make the stop.
Lestoki is split out on the left side with Connor Okenak will now go in motion from left side to right. Join Schimminger there. There's a little reverse back for Schimminger. Shakes one tackle but can't get away from the second, and the second is Murphy, who wraps him up ultimately back at the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, you cannot replicate Brandon Murphy. And the other thing that I'll say about this, when you attack this Clairton defense, I'm not sure you want to be at the line of scrimmage when you do it or behind it. I think you want to keep trying to push the ball down the field and get it away from that line of scrimmage. I know you got to run from the line there, but you want to make sure you're pushing it forward and not going laterally, because their speed sideline to sideline, it is next to impossible to get around.
That will be the final play of the first quarter. After one, PIAA Single A Championship. Clairton Bears 6, Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders nothing. We'll take a timeout back. More high school football on the PIAA Radio Network.
Fans, feel right at home when on the road at the Homewood Suites by Hilton, Harrisburg West. Our hotel is great for families because we've got 2-bedroom suites. Here you'll find exactly what you need to fuel your day from sunrise to sunset. Enjoy great amenities like free hot breakfast, free Wi-Fi, a fitness center, and a 24-hour convenience mart in an award-winning hotel in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. It's the Homewood Suites, Harrisburg West.
Thank you for over 40 years of trust. During those years, we've helped thousands of people just like you, our neighbors. We're here for you. We're here for our community. We're here for our region. The people that we worry about the most are the people who never hire an attorney. That's what the insurance company wants. When you do call us, you'll know that you have the firm with over 40 years of experience. And remember, there's never a fee unless we get money for you.
The PA Attorney General's office and the PIAA remind you to not let pain become a killer. If you suspect a teammate, family member, or friend of abusing prescription drugs, tell a coach, tell a teammate, tell a teacher, tell someone.
You can relive all the incredible moments from today's matchup on demand at the NFHSnetwork.com or with the NFHS Network app for Apple and Android. Alongside Eric Thomas, my name is Bob McCool. This is the PIAA Radio Network as we get set to start quarter number 2 again. 6-0 is our score, and a timeout to start the second quarter, and it's called by, I believe, by Guilfoyle. No, actually by Clairton. So an interesting situation here coming out of the second, to start the second quarter, and Clairton and Wayne Wade has to call a timeout here to start the second on defense. I'm not sure if the Bears just didn't have the right personnel out there, if they were missing a man, what the story was, but before they got started, it was a timeout called by Clairton. We talked with Wayne Wade about the numbers on his roster. We talked about how he feels so very fortunate that they have avoided injury. And as Eric said in our pregame show, that's just been the situation for Clairton this year. But it's a roster with 33 players on it, and that's not out of the norm for Clairton. They're normally, I asked him if he's ever had a roster over 40, and he said maybe back in the days when we had Tyler Boyd, we might have had 38, but I don't know that we've ever had 40 on our roster. 3rd down and 8 for Bishop Guilfoyle, and movement at the line of scrimmage before the snap, and initially it looks like it was Clairton that jumped off sides.
Oh, this is going to be good for Guilfoyle because they're still looking for their first down. Actually, it's not
against
good.
Bishop Guilfoyle.
Wow.
So they said that the Marauders jumped first. Will back them up 5, puts them now in a 3rd and 13 instead.
They're still looking for their first down of the afternoon here. This Guilfoyle team is averaging less than a yard per carry right now, too. So they are up against it in a big way. Got to stay resilient here and stick with what's been working for you. They've keyed on Kissel a lot here in this first 12 minutes. I think they want to try to get some guys in space and throw shorter passes and let them do it after the catch.
Wheeler in a sprint out on the right side. Avoids one tackle. He won't avoid him. Oh, the ball's on the ground. The ball gets poked loose. It's still rolling around out there, and it looks like Clairton has it, and they do. I believe Tavez Armstrong stuck in there and took it away for Clairton.
Fumble on the play.
Yeah, Kamani Parati had a shot to get it, and just the ball took a funny bounce, and it looked like for a moment that it might go back to BG because Parati could not corral it, and then Armstrong was right there to pounce on it. Wheeler stepped up, blocker from Clairton, he shed his block, defender from Clairton shed his block, recovered, got Wheeler from behind. He had no idea that there was a defender bearing down from him from his blind side, knocked it loose, and Clairton's in business here on the BG side of the 50.
At the 37-yard line, first turnover for Bishop Guilfoyle. As the struggles for the Marauders on offense continue, Clairton trying to take advantage of it. Now a little I formation for Clairton with Thompson under center. Armstrong as the blocker, right as the back. He slips a tackle, gets across the 35 into the 30, running for the pylon. Will not quite get there, but still a good run on first down for Dante Wright.
Yeah, nice job to sort of shimmy Listokey towards the end of the run and maybe got him an extra yard and a half. Make it much more manageable. You're seeing up front Clairton dominate the line of scrimmage early on, and you're seeing their guys being able to get to the outside and make plays happen when they get to the edges. That is Clairton blueprint to a T right there.
A gain of 8 for Wright on his third carry of this first half. He'll split out the left side on a 2nd down and 2. Only receiver on the field right now is Wright, split out on the left. Again, the I formation with Pompey as the back, and he's got a hole. He's got a 20, 15, 10. Dion Pompey is in the end zone on a huge hole off right tackle, and the Bears add on.
So we talked about Avon Pompey on the left side. Dakota Harris is on the right side. And again, good luck, because when you got 320 pounds pushing you out of the way and that kind of speed behind it, it's going to be trouble for your defense. Clairton doing an excellent job capitalizing on the turnover. And that hole for BG just got a little bit deeper because this team, especially if they get this 2-point try and get back the point they missed earlier, Wayne Wade talked about it. We get those twos and it starts adding up. This team is starting to add up some yardage and add up some dominance here in this first half.
18th touchdown run of the season for Dion Pompey. And again, they will go with Thompson under center and that T formation behind him. And the give is to Wright. Patiently waits for a spot and finds that spot and takes it in for the 2-point conversion. With 11:01 remaining in quarter number 2, the Clairton Bears now 14. Bishop Guilfoyle nothing. Back with more second quarter action on the PIAA Radio Network.
Today's game is streaming live on the NFHS Network. With the NFHS Network, you can watch live and on-demand high school sports on any device, wherever you are. You can relive all the incredible moments from today's matchup on demand at nfhsnetwork.com or with the NFHS Network app for Apple and Android.
On behalf of the PIAA, we'd like to thank our friends at First Citizens Community Bank, a local community bank who have been building better communities for over 150 years throughout Pennsylvania. To learn more about FCCB and what they can do for you, visit myfccb.com or find them on Facebook.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Welcome back as we get to the 11:01 spot here in quarter number 2. 14-0 all Bears early on as they take that turnover. And 2 plays later, Dion Pompey goes into the end zone on the 29-yard run. And the Bears make it a 14-0 game. The deep man on the return for Bishop Guilfoyle, very interesting, is the quarterback, Justin Wheeler. He just fumbled that football.
At drive summary, 2 plays, 37 yards, 49 seconds.
Wheeler on the return from his own 11 across the 20, and that's about as far as he will get as he's tripped up from behind by Taris Wooding. And the Marauders, again, still looking for their first down. They're going to start deep in their own territory at about their own 22 or 23-yard line. Looks like they'll spot it at the 23.
Yeah, Wheeler last year was predominantly a special teams guy on the state championship team. And then Justin Wheeler, his dad, will joke with you, well, he got all his quarterback skills from his mom. I don't know if I buy that. He might be just, telling us a little bit of a fib there. But, he was a special teams guy last year, didn't really factor too much into the offense. And then turning the keys over to him this year. Really good player. He throws the ball nicely, and he play with a lot of poise. He's going to have to come up with something here if it's either him or Kissel now. The rest of the way down 14. That lead, 14, feels like it's 35 when you're against this defense.
And this will be Kissel at the quarterback spot, rolls out, throws, and finds a man in Tyson Lestoki. And it's close to a first down. Is it going to be enough for the Marauders to move the chains for the first time? They will.
Yeah, first down of the afternoon. Good-looking throw by Kissel. Again, he came in the game last week against Belmont Charter when Wheeler got hurt, and all he did right away was throw a touchdown pass and then account for 4 of them. So
it's a good news, bad news thing, however, because now you're also taking him off out of the situation in terms of catching the football. But they do pick up their first down with him throwing it. Now he's in a backfield by him lonesome on a 1st and 10 from the 33. He's going to run it himself. They spread it out. They have the 220-pound runner just take it up the middle, and Jake Kissel gets popped just shy of the 40. He'll gain about 6, maybe 7.
They put Hayden Hosgood in there as a tight end. They moved him off that right guard spot, extra blocker in there. They put him in motion, brought him across the formation. He took off, let a nice block. Kissel got in right behind it, and they're able to pick up a good chunk there on first down. This is the type of offense BG needs to do, 4 or 5 yards on first down, and keep ahead of those sticks.
Wheeler's back in as Kissel splits out as a receiver on the left. They'll throw right. Pass is caught by Lestoki, and Lestoki will take a first down gain across the 45 before he's shoved out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. Back-to-back first downs in this 3rd offensive series for the Marauders.
Yeah, looking good so far, playing with a little bit more urgency. They're getting the ball out quicker. Offensive line's doing a good job. And they're not, when they bring in these extra guys to block too, Bob, they don't really sacrifice much in the way of losing a player. It's just, it flows with the offense. They got 4 or 5 different playmakers, but they don't lose anything when they have the extra offensive linemen out there. Now they're going to spread things out here, try to give Clairton a little bit of their own medicine here.
And it's going to be Kissel who takes the snap, looking to go up the middle, and Clairton says no way. Bears just stuff it right at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Kissel. Stopped at the 46-yard line, 2nd down and 10.
This is an offense that a week ago, 32 carries, really dominated the line of scrimmage, controlled the clock against Belmont Charter. That Belmont Charter team, the program is going to be good. I just sense that they were a little not ready for prime time last week. This defense and this team on the other side from Guilfoyle is prime time.
2nd down and 10 in the all-white clad uniform of the Clairton Bears with the black trim, the purple and white of the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders. Wheeler back in, wants to throw a little flip pass for Kissel. Needs to try to get outside, breaks 1 tackle, and will get wrapped up just around the 50-yard line. Dante Wright had a shot to get him right at the line of scrimmage. Kissel, again, at 220 pounds, fights his way for a 4-yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 6.
And that good pocket presence by Wheeler, too. The defense was bearing down on him and going to make a play and plant him, and he was able to get that throw off. A little wobbly, didn't have a whole lot on it. The wind sort of lofted it a little bit. But, again, good job to get it to Kissel out to the far side of the field, push it down the field, and give him a 3rd and manageable.
From the 3rd and 6 from the 50. Lestoki split out on the right with Schimminger with him. They're going to go left again to Kissel, who gets to the sticks and gets wrapped up. Should be another first down, Marauders.
Good job that time, too, by Kissel, sealing off the defender. And he's found a little rhythm here with these 2 guys, Kissel and Wheeler. They're going to ride Wheeler here at the quarterback spot. Kind of surprises me a little bit because I wondered how Justin Wheeler was going to manage these 2 quarterbacks, his son and Kissel. And, if young Justin was going to be healthy enough to be the predominant snap getter the whole game, or if they were going to have to go with Kissel. I think they need Kissel more as an offensive threat than a quarterback at this point.
He's lined up on a wing on the left now goes in motion to the right side on 1st and 10 from the 43. Wheeler, deep drop, setting up a screen pass for Kissel. Makes the catch in a crowd. Still on his feet inside the 35. It's going to be another first down at the 31-yard line. Talk about gambling. Bishop Guilfoyle, that could have been picked, but instead it's a first down for the Marauders.
He's got 3 guys coming after him, and he pump fakes, and then he does a jump pass to loft it over the defenders, and Kissel's waiting there in traffic and just elbows his way through it to get down the field and get a big first down for this team.
The innocence of youth, the sophomore quarterback on waiver to throw it against this Clairton defense in the thick of it all, and a 12-yard pickup to Kissel. Marauders first and 10 at the 31-yard line. Wheeler looks left, looks right. Now he's in trouble. Tries to bounce away from a tackle. He will not get away as they have got him wrapped up and will not let him go. And that's Avon Pompey who says, I don't think so, young man. You are going down.
So we've talked about the size of Harrison Pompey in this first half. We haven't talked about how quick they are for their size, though. I mean, he can shed a block, Pompey, and he can get down the field or up the field after you with the best of them. He's got a great move to get away from the block, and he just kind of powers his way through there. A lot of times at the high school level, you just see bigger dudes just push a guy out of the way. He's got some technique to it. Makes a nice move to get after the quarterback there.
Sack loss of 7, pushes it back to the 38-yard line, second down and 17. And now the officials are going to blow a whistle here before we get started. I'm not sure what this is about. Gives us a chance to completely set that lineup for defensively for Clairton, although there's players moving in and out. But it's Pompey as the nose guard with Kamani Parati and Chad Law as the tackles. Then the linebackers are Tevez Armstrong, Brandon Murphy, Deion Pompey, and Darren Pinson. The corners are Dante Wright, Taris Wooding, along with Michael Ruffin, Jace Booker, all mixed in the backfield. And the penalty, it was a penalty called against Clairton, so a little bit of a help for Guilfoyle. Puts him in a 2nd and 12 now instead, as line of scrimmage is now the 33. But no doubt, this is 4-down territory for Bishop Guilfoyle. Wheeler a sprint out, looking for the home run, looking for the Listoki. Pass is well underthrown, and nothing there for Bishop Guilfoyle, but there is a flag down behind the line of scrimmage.
Kissel just had too much air. He's throwing into the wind here. If you're familiar with Chapman Field, the wind blows out towards the Carlisle Pike, which is to our left.
And it's going to be a roughing the passer penalty against Clairton. That's going to give the Marauders a huge break here and a first down on the 15-yard penalty.
Now, Kissel did take a shot after the throw. He kind of lifted himself up to throw as much as he could. That ball just sailed under him as he's throwing into the teeth of the wind.
Against Clairton.
And it was well covered down the field, center field. Clairton's kind of dropped these two defensive backs back and a little more of like a too-high look. It's not super high as far as the two safeties, but they're really trying to keep everything in front. They had that well defended.
Kissel's in the backfield now as the running back. They fake the handoff to him. They throw it underneath instead to Schimminger, who takes the football down inside the 15 to just about the 10-yard line. They'll spot him at the 11. It's a gain of 7 on first down.
You got to get the ball out quick against this defense, and for Kissel to make that read and then throw it fast. He knows the time is running out. I mean, your job up front, if you're Guilfoyle, is hold these guys off just enough, and they've been able to do that on this drive. This is credit to this offensive line for doing its part outside of one play where Wheeler was dropped for the loss.
It's been an adventure for Justin Wheeler, but he's 7 for 7 to start this game with Kissel again as the back behind him, and this time he will fake the handoff and keep it himself, and it's not going to happen. As Tevez Armstrong says, you are not getting around the edge. They will wrap him up for another loss for the Marauders. This will push him back to the 12, a loss of a yard.
See, Bob, that's what I'm saying. I just don't think you want to move laterally against this defense. It's got to be down the field. It's got to be not sit back and sort of pick it apart, and you don't have a lot of time to make reads in this type of against this type of defense. You need to be quick thinking, get the ball down the field, run the ball between the tackles. You're not going to get the edge against this team in most cases. Just keep pushing it down the field. Nothing lateral. I think that's a little too dangerous.
2 receivers each way now for Wheeler on 3rd and 14, or 3rd and 4 from the 12. The little slanted pass. The pass is caught by Kissel, and it's enough for the first down. They'll move it to the 6th. First down, goal to go for Bishop Guilfoyle.
It's been a long drive, too, for Guilfoyle. But they got to get points here. They cannot come. This is 4-down territory, and they cannot come away without anything here on this drive.
They get a fresh set of downs now with a 1st and goal at the 6th on what will be the 13th play of this drive. This is exactly what Wayne Wade said we can't let them do. And they have eaten up over 6 minutes of the second quarter clock as well. And that is actually going to take us to a timeout. A timeout called on the field with 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first half. It is 14-0. Clairton on top, but the Marauders are driving when we come back to Cumberland Valley High School in Mechanicsburg on the PIAA Radio Network.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, Life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Thinking about a career in medicine? Osteopathic medicine combines a total body approach to the patient with modern science. With 4 College of Osteopathic Medicine campuses right here in Pennsylvania, your opportunities are endless. To find out more, visit POMA.org. This message is brought to you by the POMA Foundation, a healthy lifestyle partner of the PIAA.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
First down, goal to go from the 6, and now Bishop Guilfoyle go a little T formation of their own. Play action fake. Wheeler's in a world of trouble in the backfield. Chased all the way back across the 15. Straight arms his way out. Just going to throw this one out of the back of the end zone. Flags go down as Wheeler goes down as well, as he just airmailed it out of the back of the end zone. It's a great play by Wheeler to keep that play alive. Let's see what the flags are going to be.
I think we might have another personal foul on Clairton.
I don't know if that was a designed fake handoff or that was just a mishandoff in a backfield for Wheeler. He just ran out of dodge and then eventually just threw the ball away. Ultimately, it's a great play by the quarterback. And it is going to be against Clairton.
Personal foul on the Bears.
Yeah, Wheeler did a great job to keep that alive. And there looked like there was a miscue. You said it right on the snap and the play fake. But that's Justin Wheeler keeping that alive. And sometimes you need to do that against these physical defenses. But that's 2 personal fouls now on this drive. And a fresh set of sticks now for Guilfoyle as this drive continues here down inside 5 minutes.
Half the distance, so they move from the 6 to the 3. First down, goal to go from the 3. Again, that T formation behind Justin Wheeler, the quarterback. And again, that exchange handoff. There's a ball on the ground. He tried to hand it to Kissel, and the ball came loose. Troubles on both sides, putting the ball on the ground. They fall on it back at about the 7 or 8 yard line. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Not sure if Kissel just couldn't hang on to it or if it slipped out of Wheeler's hands. But fortunate, though, that they got the personal foul because now it's only 2nd down.
Right.
I mean, if that would have been just no flag on that previous play and this was like 3rd or 4th down, you might be up against it here. But they're fortunate they got that personal foul to give them a fresh set of sticks. But like Clairton, Bob, they got to get this exchange. It's mostly between the quarterback and the running back here, but they got to get this under control.
Same look, and again, this is Kissel. Bounces off of 1 tackle, fights his way back to the original line of scrimmage before the fumble and maybe to the 5. We're going to call this 3rd and goal at the 5 as Jake Kissel fights for about 3 yards. That's it.
He planted his foot, made a nice cutback, but waiting right there, the teeth of that Clairton defense. This is 4 down territory. I'll be curious to see what they set up here because I think a lot of times you see teams when they know they're going to go for it on 4th down, they just kind of run whatever on 3rd. They don't care what it is on 3rd because they know they're going for it on 4th. That's going to kind of be the mindset here. I know Carter Boland's warming up down there. You can't be thinking 3 here. They got to get 7.
Keegan Hewitt, the freshman, comes in as another receiver as Jack Giosa comes out, and it looks like we're going to get a timeout called here on the field. And I believe Guilfoyle is going to call the timeout. They will. Justin Wheeler is going to call his first timeout in a huge spot on 3rd and goal from the 5 with 3 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The Marauders will call the timeout here.
Just to talk about something and see what they can come up with. But this is 2 plays here. So maybe you take a shot or maybe you just set yourself up for a little more 4th and manageable. I don't know. I think you got to be thinking go to the end zone on both plays. If you're going for it on 4th down, you got to throw it all out there. This is no chance for just let's get like a yard or 2 and then kick a field goal here. You got to be going for 7 on this lengthy drive. You can't go what's going to amount to about 80 yards if they complete it. You can't go 80 yards and then just kick a field goal when you're down 14-0. So Justin Wheeler's got to come up with something here. I would look maybe for Kissel or Listoki, see what the matchup is with Listoki, maybe throw back corner, like a fade to the back corner. That would be to the wide side of the field where they're going to line up on this play, or maybe you run to the opposite side of the field, the boundary side, something shorter, but they're going for it on 4th down if they don't get this.
Kissel in the middle of 3 receivers on the right side with Connor Akanak in the backfield. A little slip screen here, hoping that Listoki can make something happen. He can't. The football comes loose. We'll see if he was down or not. I think they're going to say he was down when the football came loose and spot the ball back at about the 11 or 12 yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down.
I don't disagree with getting the ball to Listoki, but where again I have to bring this up, you're moving laterally against a defense that's just standing right there waiting for you to come to them. And you cannot, and I'm actually surprised they're going to kick a field goal here. This is a little surprising to me that they wouldn't just try to go for 6. But, you know, it's percentages here. You look at it, you're going to get the ball to start the second half. If you get a stop here on defense and then a touchdown to start the third, it works out in your favor. But I don't know that I move laterally.
Carter Bolin on to attempt a 28-yard field goal. The kick is plenty long enough, and it's good. So the Marauders are finally on the board. It took a better part of 8 minutes off the second quarter clock. And when we get back to Commonwealth Valley High School, with 2:23 left to go in the first half, it's now Clairton 14, Bishop Guilfoyle 3 on the PIAA Radio Network.
Sports Fox Photography is Central Pennsylvania's home for dramatic, high-energy sports images. Booster Clubs, now's the time to book your media day and game day photo sessions for next season. See our full gallery and reserve your dates at sportsfoxphotography.com or follow at sportsfox.photography on Instagram and Facebook for the latest highlights. Capture the moments, celebrate the athletes, choose Sports Fox Photography.
Believe it or not, at Edgar Snyder and Associates, their competition isn't other law firms. It's the insurance companies. If you've been hurt in an accident, watch out. Insurance companies will short sell you. They will deny your claim. They will do anything they can to avoid paying you. With over 40 years of experience, Edgar Snyder and Associates has seen every trick in the book. They'll fight the insurance company every day to get you the money you deserve. They're available 24/7, so contact them now at 1-800-94-EDGAR. And remember, there's never a fee unless they get money for you.
Fans, celebrate the holiday season with Wise Markets by checking out their amazing seasonal savings. Don't forget to redeem your points for additional free or reduced Wise quality items, all thanks to their newly improved holiday program. If you're looking to round out your holiday meals, save over $20 on select Wise quality items with their Holly Deals digital coupon program. But if you're busy with guests, why not order an entertaining platter? Wise customers can even earn 2 times the Wise Reward points on party platters, custom cakes, and party pizzas. Find all the great deals at your local Wise Market or at wisemarkets.com. Eat better, spend less, that's Wise.
If you think you can make the calls, become a PIAA official. Make some extra cash, stay in shape, and enjoy interscholastic sports, all while making a difference in your community. Applicants must be 16 years of age or older. Head to PIAA.org for more information. Now, after the kickoff by Bishop Guilfoyle rolls on the ground, and Brandon Murphy will pick it up. And Murphy will take it for a couple yards across the 35, shy of the 40 at about the 38. So time left for Clairton. However, the Bears only have 1 timeout left in this first half. They do lead at 14-3, 2:16 left to go in half number 1.
Yeah, MO right now for Clairton, no mistakes. I know that BG is going to get the ball to start the second half, but no mistakes, clean snaps. Guilfoyle could still call 2 timeouts left because they got 2 remaining here, down 11. But this has got to be one of 2 things here for Clairton. If you can get 6 before the half, obviously you do it. But I think right now they just need to keep their offense on the field and wear down this clock.
John Pompey, the back in the backfield. Thompson will hand it off to him, and he'll get tripped up before he can get moving. A great play defensively there by Rocco Casciati, who tripped him up in the backfield.
On the draw
to the line of scrimmage is as far as Pompey gets. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Casciati, really nice player defensively.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
Declan Peterson gets a lot of the attention up front for this BG team, but Casciati's just been a steady hand in the middle there with 25 tackles for loss and 9 sacks this year. They need this, BG does, this defense to come up with big stands here on these next 2 downs. Interesting that they let the clock run too. I expect them to call a timeout after this if it's not a first down.
Set up a little flanker screen here for Dante Wright. He gets a block, he gets across the 45 and run out of bounds. Did he get the first down before he stepped out of bounds? He did. Steps out of bounds at about the 48 or 49 yard line, stops the clock with 1:33 left to go in half number 1.
And Justin Wheeler is not happy that somebody couldn't push him out of bounds before he got to the sticks there. I think that's what he's trying to tell his defense. We got to make sure we are aware of the time here. You know, we have a plan, get some stops, call timeouts, and try to make something happen before the end of the half. But this defense is getting gashed on the sides.
Right. Second catch of the game for 30 yards. He's also run it for another 19, and that's what he can do. As Thompson will hand it off to Pompey. Pompey fights through a couple tackles into Guilfoyle territory. Still on his feet and finally goes down inside the 45. Looked like Pompey was going to be stopped shy of midfield. He ends up almost picking up a first down. Ends up picking up about 8.
This is becoming a critical situation here for BG. The way Clairton's using the sidelines and their speed and running the balls between the tackle, I mean, they're right now putting themselves in position here to make something happen before the half.
And now we're going to get an official's timeout, it looks like, before the snap here. Was there a flag?
Yeah, right on the sideline, right below us in front of BG's bench.
There it is. I did not see the flag go, but Eric said it is right in front of the Marauder bench, and Clairton's are already backing up. So they'll back up 5, and they'll be back to the 48. A loss on the penalty goes back to the 48, makes it 2nd and 7. That's penalty number 5 in this first half against Clairton. 2 personal foul penalties being the big ones. On that procedure penalty, they're now backed up to the Marauder 48.
A little hard to see that flag when the ref's stepping on it, right?
Inside of a minute now left to go in half number 1. Thompson making some adjustments. He moves his halfback Tevez Armstrong a little bit to his right, clears space for Pompey. Pompey spins out of 1 tackle to 35 and turns this into a first down. Again, off of contact, Pompey keeps the feet spinning, picks up another Clairton first down at the 39-yard line.
You know, Evan Schimminger has him right in his sights to make the tackle, and all he does is throw his hands up there and kind of gives him a little tap, and it was enough to keep Schimminger off of him to get a couple extra yards.
10 carries unofficially for 79 yards for Pompey. The clock at 30 seconds and counting. 1st and 10 for Clairton at the Guilfoyle 39-yard line. Thompson, deep drop. Is he going to take off and run? He's looking for daylight. He's tripped up just across the 35. Another nice tackle by Casciati, where Thompson might still be running.
Yeah, BG defense, we get a timeout. That's going to be the last one called by Clairton with 16 to go. The BG defense does a nice job to keep that stuff covered up in the secondary, so nowhere for Thompson to go. And again, that's not necessarily his forte to run, but you keep him in the middle of the field and force them to call their final timeout with 16 seconds left. So guess what? You know where this is going. It's going right to the end zone. He's looking for a big play, and he's probably going to look for number 8.
He's got the wind at his back. Again, it's more of a crossing wind, but it is, to some degree, it is at the back of Thompson. With 16 seconds left to go, it's 2nd down and 3 for Clairton. So if they can't get it deep, they've at least either got to get it incomplete or get it to the sidelines. But underneath in the middle of the field is not to the liking of Clairton, this spot in the game in the field. 16 seconds left to go on the first half clock. 14-3 Clairton on top. And the Guilfoyle Marauders really need to come up with a stop here. Eric said it a moment ago, they will get the football to start quarter number 3.
And they're going to drop these safeties back. No surprise, Jake Marasco is going to come out defensively. They're going to bring in the extra safety. Trying to keep everything, keep the lid on this offense here with 16 seconds left.
Right, shifts into like a halfback spot behind the line of scrimmage. Thompson again setting up another deep drop. Is he just trying to buy some time to get his receivers deep as he's chased and just throws it out of bounds with 8 seconds left to go. And
right in the middle of the field, there's a flag.
Hayden Hosgood was chasing the quarterback, and as Eric said, there is a flag in the middle of the field. You got to think that's going to be an area of a hold or an man downfield.
Yeah, it's going to be an eligible man downfield.
So it's going to back up Clairton again on their 6th penalty.
You know, I feel for the linemen because you have no idea where that ball is. Like, you just have to have, like, spidey sense to kind of figure out where your quarterback is at. They just need to block. And when they see or somebody kind of gives like a slight head turn and sees the quarterback take off, you know you're going to be moving. but sometimes I feel for those guys because they have no idea knowing who's down where and where the ball is being thrown and what's covered up and all that, and they got caught that time.
Now it makes it a little bit harder for Thompson to be able to reach the end zone because they're now backed up to the 38-yard line. And so Thompson needs to try to find as much as he can in his arm because that's the goal here with 8 seconds left to go. Nope, they're going to try a little screen pass for Wright and hope he can make something happen. 35, tries to hurdle a tackle, and he'll get wrapped up as he does so. Brody Gartman was coming up to make the tackle, and Wright tried to hurdle over the top of him. And he is down at about the 33. The clock shows zeros. Let's make sure this is the final play of the first half.
That's it.
It is. That will do it for the first half of game number 1. This is the PIAA Radio Network. You're going to hear them all here as our weekend continues. But the first half, pretty much what we expected between these two hard-hitting, defensive-oriented football teams after 2 quarters of football. In the PIAA Single A Championship, it is the Clairton Bears 14, the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders 3. We'll take a timeout. Back with more on the PIAA Radio Network.
What is life-changing medicine? The discovery of cancer at the earliest possible stage, challenging limits and transforming the impossible into reality, or connecting people to doctors and specialists when they need it most. At UPMC, we believe life-changing medicine is all those things. Our goal is to change the world of medicine and the lives of those around us. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
The PIAA would like to thank Preferred Headwear and Headbrand supplier Outdoor Cap and Junk Brands for their continued sponsorship of PIAA athletics. Their products are built to perform with style from the sidelines to the stands. Visit junkbrands.com to learn more.
Today's game is streaming on the NFHS Network. With the NFHS Network, you can watch live and on-demand high school sports on any device, wherever you are. Text your friends and family who aren't at the game and invite them to watch live now at nfhsnetwork.com or with the NFHS Network app for Apple and Android.
Are you having trouble saving to buy a home? The Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency offers down payment and closing cost assistance. Learn more at phfa.org or just Google PHFA and find out how you can buy a new home. Max Preps is your source for Pennsylvania high school sports. Schedules, stats, scores, rosters, rankings, video, and photos. Max Preps gives you access to every team, every game, and every player across the state. Follow your favorite teams by downloading the Max Preps app or go to maxpreps.com. Max Preps, your source for Pennsylvania high school sports. Get in the game.
If you think you can make the calls, become a PIAA official. Make some extra cash, stay in shape, and enjoy interscholastic sports, all while making a difference in your community. Head to PIAA.org for more information.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
This game brought to you in part by UPMC Life-Changing Medicine. Well, we are halfway through game number 1 here on this PIAA Radio Network, and the Clairton Bears on top of the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders by a score of 14-3. And Eric, I want to go back to that last series offensively for the Marauders. They did what they wanted to do. They did what Clairton didn't want them to do, which is to sustain a drive. They ultimately made the decision to come away with points on that spot as they got kind of backed up inside the 10-yard line. Justin Wheeler making the decision to get the field goal instead of at least getting points out of it, you can kind of second guess him, but you can also understand why. Look, we're up against a monster in this Bear defense, and so we at least get points. And again, we said it before, say it again, they will get the football to start period number 3.
Yeah, and I think in hindsight, it's the right thing to do. I know I was saying go for it here on 4th down, or it's 4-down territory, but you go all that way, you got to get you got to get something against this defense. Look, you come out second half, you get a touchdown, you make it a 4-point game, it's right up your alley. So these two teams have thrived on lower scoring games. That's kind of what this is trending towards. That first half, except for that BG drive, felt like a total domination by Clairton. So the fact that BG is only down 11 right now, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion and a field goal, which they like to do because they got Carter Bolin, I think they got to feel pretty good about where they are right now, to be honest. And by the way, the quarterbacks for BG, 11 of 11 in the first half. Not many can say that they've done that against Clairton this season.
Yeah, and even the same side for Thompson. He completed his last 6 passes to finish up the first half. Again, not big chunks except for that one big toss to Brandon Murphy where he just outjumped the defense. But at the same time, even though I agree with everything you just said, but if you're Wayne Wade, you got to be sitting at halftime going like, look, guys, this is our game. We are up 14-3. That means they've got to score at least 2 more times against us. And, hey, yeah, they did what we didn't want them to do, which is to put together that long, sustained drive. But it took 8+ minutes, and all they were able to do is get a field goal out of it. If we can force them and limit them to doing nothing more than that, this is still very much our game. And if they don't turn the football over and give BG a short field, if you're Clairton, you've got to love the position you're in right now.
Yeah, anytime they can turn this over to their defense, they have to feel confident in that. I know that their offense has been shaky at times with the snaps and all that, but when they have been flowing in this game, they've looked unstoppable. Brandon Murphy's looked unstoppable. They're running the ball really well right now, first half, almost 200 yards of offense. They've almost tripled what BG's done in the first half. So actually, they have tripled what BG's done in the first half. So I think they got to feel pretty confident about that. And then their defense has a chance to set the tone right away in the second half. If they don't allow anything from BG and they get the ball, everything now becomes an enemy of Bishop Guilfoyle if you think of it. You have the opponent on the other side. The clock is not going to work against you because you've got to get 2 more scores. And oh, by the way, the defense that's on the other side, it might be the best defense in the entire state of Pennsylvania.
Well, if you like giving up 5 points a game, because that's what Clairton has done over the course of their first 15 games. And this is game number 1 for us here at the PIAA Radio Network. Again, it is 14-3 with Clairton on top of Bishop Guilfoyle. The 4A game comes your way tonight. That's Twin Valley against Southern Lehigh. We'll take a break. When we come back with more halftime activity, James Dotson will go through what's happening in the rest of our coverage tonight here on the PIAA Radio Network.
Is college in your future? The Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency helps PA students and families navigate all things college, such as scholarships, grants, and loans. For more information on ways to plan and pay for college, visit PHEAA.org. That's PHEAA.org.
Believe it or not, at Edgar Snyder and Associates, their competition isn't other law firms. It's the insurance companies. If you've been hurt in an accident, watch out. Insurance companies will short sell you. They will deny your claim. They will do anything they can to avoid paying you. With over 40 years of experience, Edgar Snyder and Associates has seen every trick in the book. They'll fight the insurance company every day to get you the money you deserve. They're available 24/7, so contact them now at 1-800-94-EDGAR. And remember, there's never a fee unless they get money for you.
Welcome to the halftime show on the PIAA Radio Network. With a recap of the first half, here's James Dotson.
Halftime show, 14-3 your score at the halftime break here in the Class 1A championship game. It was Clairton leading Bishop Guilfoyle, basically controlling the first about 13 minutes of the game before the late drive by Bishop Guilfoyle there throughout most of the second quarter. We'll take a look at the full highlights here in our first broadcast on the new PIAA Radio Network. Clairton got the ball first, able to get a couple of first downs, but then a defensive play able to give an opportunity for Bishop Guilfoyle early.
Pompey, and that might be a lateral depending on the spot. Looks like the Marauders have recovered the football if the officials agree. They did not signal incomplete pass yet, but we're going to have a conference here between the officials. Was Pompey behind Thompson when he threw it? If so, it's a lateral. It is. Bishop Guilfoyle will end up with the football. First mistake of the game comes on a turnover by Clairton.
Bishop Guilfoyle, though, unable to really capitalize on anything on that drive. Clairton gets the ball right back. Quickly down the field they go, capping off a long touchdown drive.
Also on 4th and 9 for Clairton at the Guilfoyle 13-yard line. They're going to go for it. Thompson looks right, throws back to the left to Murphy. Looking for a block. Murphy has the 10, the 5, dives for the pylon. Is he in? Touchdown, Clairton. They just threw a little screen pass for Murphy. He got one block and did the rest himself.
Yeah, did the rest himself. Supermaning the last 5 yards into the end zone for that opening touchdown. Bishop Guilfoyle again goes 3 and out, unable to get any first downs in the first quarter. Actually, this time trying to go for it, make it a 4th and short. They fumble the ball away. Clairton wastes no time. Right back down the field they go. Just 2 plays before their next touchdown.
Avoids one tackle. He won't avoid him. Oh, the ball's on the ground. The ball gets poked loose. It's still rolling around out there, and it looks like Clairton has it, and they do. I believe Tavez Armstrong stuck in there and took it away for Clairton.
There's the fumble recovery, and then 2 plays later, your touchdown for Lovelace Pompey.
He has the back, and he's got a hole. He's got a 20, 15, 10. Dion Pompey is in the end zone on a huge hole up right tackle, and the Bears add on.
14-0 again. The Marauders, no first downs at that point, but that changed. They actually had 7 first downs on their next drive. That was more than Clairton had in the entire game either. A 15-play drive, but settling for 3 in the red zone.
I move laterally.
Carter Boland on to attempt a 28-yard field goal. The kick is plenty long enough, and it's good. So the Marauders are finally on the board. It took a better part of 8 minutes off the second quarter clock. And when we get back to come.
That made it a 14-3 score. Clairton drove down late in the first half, unable to get any more points on the board. And crucially, those points because the Marauders get the ball first to start the second half. We're going to take one last time out. Come back and we'll preview the 4A championship game coming up later tonight between 2 newcomers in Twin Valley and Southern Lehigh. Newcomers here to the PIAA championships. 14-3 your halftime score here. Clairton leading Bishop Guilfoyle here on the PIAA Radio Network.
Work hard and win big at West Virginia University. We automatically review applications for merit scholarship eligibility. No extra paperwork, no essays. Our scholarships are generous and non-competitive, which means if you have the grades, you have a scholarship. Plus, they're stackable, so you can get more than one and focus on what really matters. An easier path to your dream job. Let's go at wvu.edu.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Welcome to the halftime show on the PIAA Radio Network. With a recap of the first half, here's James Dotson.
14-3 your halftime score. Again, Clairton leading Bishop Guilfoyle. First of 6 games this weekend, first of 2 games here today. The nightcap, a 7 o'clock kickoff between a pair of 14-win teams, and the first time ever for both Southern Lehigh and Twin Valley to make it to the championship game. Southern Lehigh, 40 points per game on the season. Twin Valley, well, they'll match that and increase a little more, 50 points per game for Twin Valley. Both teams making, again, their first trips to the state championship games. here at Cumberland Valley, and we expect a high-scoring game as a result. Two teams that balance it in two very different ways. For Twin Valley, you have a pair of 1,000-yard rushers, Drew Engel and Lucas Myers, who do the main work on the ground. Maverick Foster hasn't thrown it much. Well, that's because, well, when they're averaging 50 points per game, and actually have scored at least 28 in every game on the season, not throwing it a whole lot in the second half under Coach Myers. Yes, the former Middletown coach. 0-3 in state finals, looking to make his first gold medal here for a state championship game now at Twin Valley. And Lucas, one of those running backs, is his son. Some father-son flair on the other side for Southern Lehigh as well. They're a more balanced offense in terms of the run versus the pass. Colton Sams, again, coach's son, 2,500 passing yards and 34 touchdowns on the year. But it's a workhorse in Sean Steckert. Over 40 rushing attempts in their semifinal victory, nearly 3,000 yards and 40-plus touchdowns on the year. Both of these teams absolutely huge in the trenches, and it's going to be a fun like-on-like competition as a result to see which team can control the trenches and control the game best. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff coming tonight here on the PIAA Radio Network. Step aside one more time. When we come back, we will have the second half kickoff. Bob McCool, Eric Thomas back on the call for quarters 3 and 4 here from Chapman Field at Cumberland Valley High School. You're listening to the PIAA Radio Network.
Attention fans, get your next game day ticket using Hometown. As the official online ticketing partner of the PIAA, Hometown gives you a simple and secure way to search, buy, and scan your ticket right from your phone. Download the Hometown Fan app from your mobile app store today.
Today's game is streaming live on the NFHS Network. With the NFHS Network, you can watch live and on-demand high school sports on any device, wherever you are. You can relive all the incredible moments from today's matchup on demand at nfhsnetwork.com or with the NFHS Network app for Apple and Android.
Becoming a champion is an incredible accomplishment, especially at a level as competitive as the PIAA. That's why the Faulkner Automotive Group proudly salutes the student-athletes and their families for making it this far. When it's time to upgrade your vehicle, choose any of the 31 Faulkner dealerships in Philadelphia, Lancaster, Bethlehem, Harrisburg, or Mechanicsburg. You'll find award-winning teams doing business the right way and a fast and easy buying experience. Compare low prices on thousands of vehicles and find the one that's perfect for you. Faulkner, to be sure. Get a head start on your career in exciting fields like science, communication, engineering, and medicine, along with tuition assistance in the Pennsylvania National Guard. To learn more about the Pennsylvania National Guard, check out Join PA Guard on Facebook and Instagram, or go to nationalguard.com/PA.
If you think you can make the calls, become a PIAA official. Make some extra cash, stay in shape, and enjoy interscholastic sports, all while making a difference in your community. Head to PIAA.org for more information. The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA, two community-focused organizations, are proud to be collaborating to provide Pennsylvanians free access to local high school sports broadcasts. To follow your schools, check your local TV and radio stations for coverage.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Welcome back to Chapman Field, the home of the Cumberland Valley Eagles, and also the home of the PIAA Football Championships. Alongside Eric Thomas, my name is Bob McCool. 14-6 is our score, with Bishop Guilfoyle trailing Clairton. Again, you look at some of the numbers in this first half, Eric, and you wouldn't think it was a 14-6 game. Quarterbacks are perfect. Jeff Thompson 7 for 7 for 98 yards and a touchdown. Justin Wheeler's 10 for 10 for 58 yards. But there's been some mistakes, and the ball's been on the ground more than either coach would be happy for. Officially, there's only been one fumble on each side. But there's been a whole lot more than that. They've been recovered fumbles, but there's been issues with holding on to the ball and ball security in half number one.
Yeah, there really has been, and Guilfoyle hasn't been able to run the ball either. I mean, Kissel's got 4 carries for 9 yards, but as a team they have no rushing yards because of Wheeler being sacked for an 11-yard loss and then the team rush of 2 yards. So BG hasn't been able to run the ball. Clairton hasn't really been able, and they've gotten hit and lost the ball a couple times, and Clairton has had issues with the snap. But otherwise, this has been a game that statistically has been dominated by the Bears, and I sense that there's a little bit of uneasiness in Clairton because it's like, look, we've got this team on the ropes, and then we just couldn't connect on the knockout blow in the first half. And much like BG can't let a team like Clairton hang around, it's the reverse too, because if they get their offense rolling and BG can run the ball and establish stuff at the offensive line and control the line of scrimmage, they're going to come back in this game and they're going to make this interesting down the stretch. So Clairton defensively has got to be on their toes defensively. They've got to make the plays, wrap up, keep that rushing yards down to 0. BG is going to have to start figuring out a way to balance out this offense a little bit. And I still think that BG is going to take some chances here. There's a trick play somewhere coming from this BG team that we don't know just yet, but they may dial it up at the right time. But other than that, keep it clean. No fumbles, no turnovers. Don't give up a possession. Don't limit yourself by giving up a possession. And we'll see what happens the next 24 minutes. I mean, I felt like at one point this game was over, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. And now I feel like this is still going to be 24 minutes where it's going to be a fight. So who knows? This
may seem a bit overly dramatic, but it's huge with BG getting the football to start this third quarter. I don't know you put this in the must-score category, but if you don't score, and Clairton comes down and scores on the other end, being down 3 scores against this defense is a hill to climb if you're BG. So again, I don't know that it's must-score territory, but if you don't score, you better make sure you don't let Clairton to come back and put points on the board.
Yeah, and they're going to – BG can't just rely on Clairton to make a mistake either. Like, they're going to have to go make a defensive play, pick a pass off, strip sack, something like that, and get and create the possession for their team. Now, what I'll say about this in this opening drive where I'm yakking in the first half about how they got to go for a touchdown, the important thing about getting that field goal in that spot is that now on this drive, if they go down the field again, the field goal's in play. You got to get it at some point anyway. Mm-hmm. So you might as well, you got to figure the touchdown's going to be easier to get instead of kicking into this mess out here. The wind's blowing out to the highway there pretty significantly. So they can go down the field and they can still get a field goal in this possession here and be okay. They're going to have to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, but if they have to settle for 3 again, that favors Bishop Guilfoyle, so they got to feel pretty confident right now.
So again, Bishop Guilfoyle will get the football to start half number 2. Justin Wheeler, their sophomore quarterback, as we said, go 10 for 10, throwing the fact that Jay Kissel threw it one time, and he completed that pass as well. As Tyson Listoki caught 3 of those passes, Kissel ultimately caught 5 of them. And that wasn't that one big drive. And again, it was a long drive for Bishop Guilfoyle that they ultimately settled for the field goal as they kind of self-destructed after getting themselves to a 1st and goal to 6. Now, Clairton did help because there was a couple personal foul penalties in that drive against the Clairton defense, but it took them the better part of 8+ minutes to get 3 points out of that second quarter drive. So the Clairton unit will be out there to kick off. And again, Justin Wheeler, who, as we just got done telling you, was 10 for 10 in the first half throwing the football, is the return man back deep for the Marauders. Bishop Guilfoyle, the District 6 champion. They beat Juniata Valley 62-6 for that District 6 championship. Clairton with a 24-14 win over Laurel to win the District 7 title. 4 titles for Clairton. Their last victory in the PIAA championships goes all the way back to 2012. They lost to Bishop Guilfoyle in 2014 and 16. The Marauders all-time with 5 titles, including last year in the with a win over Port Allegheny. They won it in 21. They going backwards. They lost to Farrell in 2019. We'll see the Steelers tomorrow afternoon here at Cumberland Valley in the 2A championship game against Southern Columbia. Clairton winning it. Bishop Guilfoyle winning it in 2014, 15, and 16. Kickoff in the end zone, automatic touchdown. And the kickoff out of bounds will put the ball at the 35-yard line for Bishop Guilfoyle and the offense on the field. Again, as we start half number 2, it is 14-3, Clairton on top, and the Marauders start at 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
Remember that Farrell game a couple years ago against BG, the field goal at the end of the game? Blustery conditions. We were talking before today, about the wind maybe tonight and tomorrow and how cold it's going to be. There was nothing like the wind at Hershey Park Stadium, though. It could be a picturesque 80-degree day, and there's still going to be a 35-mile-an-hour wind in that stadium.
I said the kick went out of bounds. I meant to say it was out of the end zone. So they start from the 20. Wheeler steps up in the pocket, throws the football. He throws it behind his intended target. That target was Tyson Listokey, and fortunate the ball was not intercepted as it deflected off the hands of a Clairton defender and falls harmlessly to the ground.
Well, right away we said don't give the possession away, or, not really work against yourself here. And BG, dangerous throw. I'm not sure if the wind got that or if that was a miscommunication with the receiver, but they cannot afford a turnover early in this drive. If you're BG, Bob, I think you have to come out here and try to establish the run. I know it's been tough, but you got to get some rushing yards here to balance out your offense.
Well, they faked the handoff to Kissel, and now Wheeler's going to keep it himself, and Justin Wheeler's across the 25 before he's upended. So they do go to the ground game, and they fake the handoff to Kissel and have Wheeler keep it himself, and he'll pick up 5 to the 25.
Good to come back on second down and get half the yardage you need after that incompletion. This is what BG wants to do, and again, this is what they need to do against this Clairton defense. Give yourself, if you're going to have a third down, but get third down and manageable. They can't be third and 6, 7, 8, 9 or plus. It's got to be like 3rd, 5, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3. They got to go and just stay ahead of these sticks.
3rd and 5. Wheeler, a little slant in route, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Clairton, and it's Dion Pompey. He's going to take it in for the touchdown. They went for the little slant in pass for Listokey, and Pompey jumps the route, picks it off, and takes it in. Touchdown, Clairton.
Pompey didn't move. He was waiting for Wheeler to throw the ball so he could do exactly what you just said, and that was jump the route. Could not happen at a worse spot for BG as they needed that drive. And if Clairton now goes for 2, this is where that 2-point theory with Wade comes into play here. We start getting these 2s and they add up. This is now where it starts to hurt the opponent because now you're big time chasing. And now you're going to be forced to probably throw the football more and not run the ball. And this Clairton defense now, they can smell blood.
So again, they will go for the 2 here. They'll use that T formation with Thompson taking the snap under center. Pompey and Wright on either side of Tevez Armstrong, the middle man in that T. Thompson on a bootleg is going to take it himself. He's got an angle, and Jeff Thompson going to roll it into the end zone on the 2-point conversion to make it 22-3. Clairton on top.
What a beautiful bootleg that was by Thompson. It took it pretty deep, and you thought, hey, if they get anybody in the backfield to disrupt that, they can slow it down. And he took such a wide turn on that run, showing the wheels. Thompson's had to take off and run a couple of times today here, and it is danger time now for Bishop Guilfoyle with still 23 minutes to go now in this contest, a little over 23 minutes.
So we will take a quick timeout because the Marauder offense is coming right back on the field after the interception return for a touchdown. 11:08 left to go in the third. 22-3, Clairton now on top.
The Hampton Inn and Town Place Suites Harrisburg West and Mechanicsburg are proud to partner with the PIAA to welcome teams and their families from across Pennsylvania. Our award-winning properties provide the region's best lodging opportunities, including double-bedded guest rooms, studios, suites, and 1- and 2-bedroom suite options with all the luxuries of home. Put your team first. Check us out at highhotels.com.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
With over 40 years of experience, Edgar Snyder & Associates has seen every trick in the book. When you hire their law firm, they'll fight the insurance company every day to get you the money you deserve. They're available 24/7. Contact them now, 1-800-94-EDGAR. Remember, there's never a fee unless they get money for you. So the interception return for a touchdown officially goes a 24-yard interception return for Dion Pompey, who has got both of the touchdowns for Clairton in this football game, one on offense and one on defense. And as I said, going to break, the Guilfoyle Marauders will bring their offense right back out on the field here with a lot of time left to go in the football game, but an uphill climb right now for the Marauders.
Yeah, and really decision time here is what you want to do from the quarterback spot. Justin Wheeler and Jay Kissel can alternate, but I think they're going to have to keep throwing the football here, play from behind. This plays right into the teeth of Clairton's defense.
They'll go and they play fake to Kessel. They'll give it to Schiminger on the end around, and Schimminger will not be able to go sideline to sideline. They're going to wrap him up for a loss, drop him all the way back inside the 25, back to about the 22-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 3 on the reverse.
Yeah, and again, I just don't think that going laterally against this team or sideline to sideline is what you really want to put yourself in position to do here. I know you need to mix it up and give them different looks and give them something to think about defensively, but there is too much speed on that Clairton side of the ball, and they can fly to the edges and make plays there. There hasn't been an edge in this game that Bishop Guilfoyle has won so far, either side of the ball.
2nd down and 12. Wheeler wants to throw for it. Flushed out of the pocket to his right. Still looking for somebody open. Shake loose of one tackle. Stiff arms his way away to be able to get the football loose. He was looking for Listoki, but it's incomplete. And Pompey again was there in coverage for Clairton, forcing the incomplete pass and a 3rd down look.
He gave a peek down the field to Schimminger, but he was really well covered down the field by Dante Wright. There was just nothing open, and Schimminger couldn't shake loose. Wright was in his hip pocket the whole way. I think he was trying to go for the big chunk play on that one, and no avail. It was well covered down the field. This Clairton defense, we said it in the first half. They've kind of dropped back in that too high safety look, kept everything in front of them. Sometimes football isn't that hard. I mean, really, it really isn't. Like, if you know that this team is going to have trouble moving the ball against you, don't allow anything open over the top.
Schimminger shifts from right side to left. So 3 on the left, 1 on the right. They're going to set up that little bubble screen for Schimminger, but there's just too many Clairton Bears there to wrap him up and drop him for virtually a gain of a couple across the original line of scrimmage, and will put Bishop Guilfoyle now in a 4th and about 8. Actually, they're going to spot it back at the 25. So they get back what they lost on that first play, puts Bishop Guilfoyle in a 4th and 10, and they're going to punt the football.
Yeah, they don't have a choice here. Obviously, it's on their side of the field, but again, to the edge, boundary that time, boundary side of the field, there's just nothing open. Clairton is so quick at flying up the field defensively and cutting off those edges.
So they'll punt the football. They
ran a fake.
They ran the fake. They tried, and they're not going to get it nearly enough, as it looks like Hunter Akanak took the snap and ran with it. Clairton denies them, and on downs now, Clairton's going to get the football back, and they're going to get it right back deep into Bishop Guilfoyle territory. 9:26 left to go in the 3rd, and the offense for Clairton's back on the field at the BG 27-yard line.
Well, we knew they were going to run something in terms of a trick play. I just didn't expect them to go for it deep in their own territory like that. I admire Justin Wheeler for drawing that up, trying to get a spark for his team, but oh boy.
Thompson looking for the home run, little stop and go, looking for the corner, and Murphy dives. Did he get a foot down? He did not. Thompson just aired it out and hoped that Brandon Murphy could run it down. He did. I just think he ran out of real. Actually, it's not Murphy. That is Taris Wooding, who was the man split out all by his lonesome. It's ultimately an incomplete pass. It's 2nd down.
What a throw by Thompson, though. To the outside part, receiver's going to be the one that makes the catch, not allowing the defender to make a play on the ball. Couldn't have put that any better, just ran out of real estate right up against that sideline.
Jace Booker now the man on the single side, and he's the one who gets the call here. And Booker will fight himself inside the 10, inside the 15, and down to about the 14-yard line, a gain of 13, and another set of downs for Clairton.
We talked to Wayne Wade before the game and asked him flat out, it's been a long time since you've been in this position. Do you feel like you're still one of the powerhouses in single A? More on that in a second.
Here's a little flanker screen, but a whistle before this play goes forward. They were setting up a flanker screen to Murphy, but the officials blew the whistle and threw a flag first.
So you look at the landscape of single A football, and again, Steel High's been playing since the 1800s, late 1800s. You've had Rochester, you had Southern Columbia when they were a single A team, but the 2 most dominant single A teams in the last 15 years are playing for a title right here for the 3rd time that they've met each other in this game, but it's been a long time since Clairton has done it, and I can't stress, if you're not familiar with Western PA and the culture in some of these smaller towns like Aliquippa, Clairton, I mean, this is life for them.
Yes.
The community
100%.
Basically is behind this program 100%, and if they lose, the week's miserable. They can't wait to get back out there next Friday because they're so upset that they lost the game on a Friday night. it is quite literally a live or die situation for this fan base and this community that they get behind so much. This team has felt like they were right on the cusp of something. They showed it 2 years ago. Very undisciplined team. Bring all these guys back and add a dude in Murphy who everybody's known about since he was 6, 7 years old, and that he was going to be a stud. And this team is on the cusp of getting its title back. They feel like it should have never left their grasp. And this team in Bishop Guilfoyle's come around and created a dynasty almost at Clairton's expense. They feel like they're back here to take it back from them.
It was a Marauder timeout that was the whistle. Here's Thompson again, flushed out of the pocket, directing traffic, and he throws over the head again, looking for Wooding, but it's an incomplete pass. But another flag thrown on the play.
It's right in the area holding, so we'll see.
It's like that's the preliminary indication. They are pointing and looking at Justin Wheeler. He says move him back. So they'll move this back 10 to the 24-yard line. It's going to remain first down for Clairton, but now back up to the 24 to be first and 20 on the 7th penalty of this football game against the Bears. That's really the only thing that you can point to that Clairton has not excelled in, and that is the fact that they have committed 7 penalties to this point. They've overcome it all so far. They lead at 22-3 and looking for more here inside of 9 minutes left to go in the third quarter, and now in a 1st and 20 backed up to the 24-yard line. And here is the handoff to Wright. Wright fighting through, slips a tackle inside the 20, still driving forward, and finally goes down inside the 15-yard line. Dante Wright just would not go down and ultimately turns it into a 10-yard run.
Yeah, just carrying guys. This offensive line is now really asserting itself for Clairton, and Bishop Guilfoyle is getting worn down at the point of attack. This is what better way if you're a defensive-minded team to just be able to run the football and kill the clock when you have a 19-point lead. This is right up in the blueprint, in the map, so to speak, of Clairton and what they want to do.
Murphy will split out to the left side. Wooding splits out to the right on 2nd and 10 now at the 14. Wright will line up as a wing, shift from the left side to the right into a slot right spot. And they're going to run a little reverse to him on that pitch forward. Great job by Bishop Guilfoyle. They are not fooled, and it's Hayden Hasgood who trips him up in the backfield back at about the 17-yard line. Loss of 3 on the play.
19 tackle for loss for Hasgood this season. And Guilfoyle needs a stop here. Clairton will go for it on 4th down if it comes down to it here, but the problem is Guilfoyle hasn't, so far in the third quarter, in the limited time they've had the ball, shown any ability to move the ball.
3rd and 13 now for the Bears. Wright will go to a slot right spot. Wooding split out right. Murphy split out to the left. Pompey the back in the backfield. Now Wright is also going to shift into the backfield, and they're going to throw it to Pompey instead, but a whistle before the snap goes. And was there a timeout called again? I believe there was. It looks like this time Clairton called the timeout. So Bears called the timeout. So both teams calling a timeout in the last couple moments of this series. Comes with 7:19 to go. Apparently this is a pretty important spot in the game because both teams have burned a timeout in this series.
Well, I mean, this might be it right here if you're Guilfoyle. You've got a little over 19 minutes to go of game time. And if you don't get a stop here on this possession and get the ball back and basically eat up 7 minutes of the clock, you're not going to be the crown's going somewhere else. I mean, let's just put it that way. Like it is dire do or die right now for this Guilfoyle defense. They must come up with a stand here. It's going to be 4-down territory. Clairton will not kick, even though they're better at kicking the ball this season than they've ever been with Rayon Williams, but they still won't want to risk anything as far as like leaving the door open for Guilfoyle. This will be 4-down territory and a must stop here for Guilfoyle.
3rd and 13 again is the line of scrimmage, the 17-yard line. Actually, it's the 18-yard line is where they mark the football. So 3rd and 14 from the 18 coming up for Clairton. As Eric said on more than one occasions in this spot, and certainly in this spot for sure, 4-down territory for the Bears. They bring Michael Ruffin back in the game. He's now split out slot right with Wooding split right. And Thompson looking that way, steps in front of a defender, looking for the corner of the end zone, but it's going to be incomplete. Just not quite able to get there was Wooding, I believe, was the intended target. And actually it was Wright. Dante Wright was the intended target. Doesn't matter. It's an incomplete pass. It's going to be 4th down.
That ball kind of drifted on Thompson a little bit, and Wright had to make a break back inside to make the catch. I think he thought that was going to be back corner, back pylon in the end zone, but that wind kind of lofted it. You hit that 60-degree wedge, and you're trying to hold the green, and sometimes it pushes it with the wind if it's at your back, and that sort of drifted a little bit right. Tried to make a great effort to get back there. And here we go. It's 4th down. This is it right now for Guilfoyle. They got to get a stop here on this 4th down.
Murphy, Ruffin, right, all split out to the right. Thompson looking that way. He's not going to have enough time. He's wrapped up, and he is going to get sacked in the backfield. A huge spot for Bishop Guilfoyle, and they sack the quarterback.
Yeah, they come up with a play when they need it to. That is the biggest defensive play of the game right now for Bishop Guilfoyle. They still have a little bit of life here with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. They're going to have to throw the kitchen sink at Clairton to get back in this game, but they still have a shot. That is the important thing. And it was not possible if they don't get a stop there. Great job by this defense to come up with the stand when they needed to. And now it's on the shoulders of the offense. Can they move the football? Field goal is not an option here, Bob. They got to get 7s now. This is not 3 the rest of the way. We got to get touchdowns, and they got to get them in a hurry.
6 first downs in the first half for Bishop Guilfoyle, almost all of them in that drive that led to a field goal. They put Schimminger in motion. They loop him around the quarterback, Kissel, who's going to take it himself and not get much of anything. Kissel, the quarterback, gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Yeah, Pinson, and then in the middle, Chad Law really cut off that running lane. And then you had Parati coming through there to make the stop, really to be the third guy there. But that was an excellent job to clog up the running lanes by those two in the middle. Chad Law doesn't really get enough credit. We talk a lot about the two big bookends for this offense and defensive line for Clairton, but, man, Chad Law's had himself a great season too. Doesn't have the gaudy numbers, but he's just a solid lane filler for this defense.
Wheeler checks back in now as the quarterback in the shotgun. On 2nd and 10, looking right. Again, runs out of time, trying to get out of the pocket. He will not get away. And the Clairton Bears are going to sack the quarterback, drop him for a loss. And it was Armstrong who had him from behind and brings him down back at the 17-yard line, a loss of 6.
They held him off just enough, and Wheeler was able to step up. But that closing final move by Armstrong to get to Wheeler, he would not be denied the sack that time. And again, the coverage in the secondary by this Clairton team. You think you might have a step on them somewhere, and they just shut the door so fast on you, your lanes, your throwing ability, whatever the case. They are so quick to react defensively when it looks like things are open for your offense.
So Wheeler now in a 3rd and 16 back at his own 17, has 2 each side. But now Gioso goes in motion from right side to left. There's a little handoff back the other way on a wraparound handoff. Does not fool Clairton. They're there, and they're going to wrap up the ball carrier. That ball carrier was Connor Akanak, and he gets back to about the original line, back to the original sticks, and not even close to that. He get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's going to be 4th and 16, and again, BG cannot pick up a first down, and on comes Carter Bolin, who again attempt, we assume, a punt. Last time they faked it.
Carter Bolin to punt.
Bolin will kick it this time. It's a line drive kick. Hit it, but it rolls and rolls across the 45. And now a flag goes down on the return. There is no attempt on the return as the Bears let it come to a stop at the 49-yard line of Bishop Guilfoyle. But we'll see what the flag is before we head to the timeout here on the field. 4:49 left to go in the third. 22-3 is our score. Clairton on top of Bishop Guilfoyle, but a flag as the ball was rolling to a stop. It's going to be a personal foul. It's going to be the call. And it's going to be against Clairton. So instead of getting it on the BG side of the 50, they're going to get backed up 15 yards. 3rd personal foul penalty in this game against Bishop Guilfoyle, and that will send us to break. So 4:49 left to go in the third. Clairton up 22-3. We'll take a timeout. Clairton has the football when we come back to Mechanicsburg.
Today's game is streaming live on the NFHS Network. With the NFHS Network, you can watch live and on-demand high school sports on any device, wherever you are. You can relive all the incredible moments from today's matchup on demand at nfhsnetwork.com or with the NFHS Network app for Apple and Android.
It's interactive ice cream fun at the Turkey Hill Experience, located in Columbia, Pennsylvania. Learn how ice cream is made, invent, and taste your own ice cream flavors in our Taste Lab. Milk our mechanical cows, star in your own commercial. Get unlimited free samples of iced tea and ice cream. Visit turkeyhillexperience.com for more information about the Turkey Hill Experience.
Thank you for over 40 years of trust. During those years, we've helped thousands of people just like you, our neighbors. We're here for you. We're here for our community. We're here for our region. The people that we worry about the most are the people who never hire an attorney. That's what the insurance company wants. When you do call us, you'll know that you have the firm with over 40 years of experience. And remember, there's never a fee unless we get money for you.
The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA, two community-focused organizations, are proud to be collaborating to provide Pennsylvanians free access to local high school sports broadcasts. To follow your schools, check your local TV and radio stations for coverage. Through the PAB and PIAA partnership, following Pennsylvania student athletes has never been easier.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Clairton starts first and 10 at the 36-yard line following the media timeout, and they hand it off to Dante Wright, who'll pick up a couple across the 40. Wright gets to about the 42 and a gain of 6 on first down for the Clairton Bears.
And again, just getting behind the right side of the offensive line that time. That's Dakota Harris.
Gain of 6 seconds.
And anytime you're going to gash a defense for 6-7 yards on first down, this Clairton team now is sort of in wear-down mode. They're, again, try to assert this offensive line, let them dictate the tempo of this game, pound the football, mistake-free, be clean on your exchanges, and everything's working in their favor right now.
2nd and 4 after the 6-yard gain for Wright. Again, that T formation, but it's a play-action fake. Thompson going to throw it for Wright instead. He's got the first down and more. 40, 35, 30. Dante Wright looking for one more block. 20, and he's eventually caught from behind and wrestled out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot him out at the 12. First down on the big hook up to Dante Wright.
This is a single-A team, and they've got 3 guys on offense, 4 really if you count Murphy, that are virtually unstoppable. And they've got 5 or 6 guys that run a 4.4, 4.5 40, and Dante Wright's one of them. You just saw why. You get him the ball, you put him in space, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. You let him do the rest of the work.
52 yards on the pickup. 1st and goal from the 7. Back to that T formation. They're going to give it to Pompey. Pompey looking for his 3rd score of the game, and he's going to get it. Dion Pompey shakes loose a tackle at the 5-yard line and will take it in for the Clairton Bear touchdown.
I mean, on the far side of the field there, Tevez Armstrong just throwing his weight behind the block and freeing him up. That looked like it was going to be kind of bottled up at the start there because for the moment, Pompey looked like he was going to stumble on the exchange, and Thompson, when he backpedaled, almost looked like he was going to stumble a little bit too. It was kind of a weird snap as he was falling backwards to hand it off, but then the block on the far side by Tevez Armstrong. This Clairton machine is rolling right now. All those issues about teams scoring on them in the playoffs, gone. This team is back where it was about 8 weeks ago when they were just dominating everybody.
Well, they will attempt the extra point here. Rajon Williams will come on to attempt the extra point. It is no good as he hooked it to the left. So 3 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, and the offense for Clairton puts it in the end zone. Pompey has scored twice on offense and once on defense, and the Clairton Bears right now in control, 28-3. When we get back with more 3rd quarter action on the PIAA Radio Network.
What is life-changing medicine? The discovery of cancer at the earliest possible stage, challenging limits and transforming the impossible into reality, or connecting people to doctors and specialists when they need it most. At UPMC, we believe life-changing medicine is all those things. Our goal is to change the world of medicine and the lives of those around us. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters. Some see a high school football stadium. We see a place where Pennsylvanians come together as a community. The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA, creating opportunities for student athletes to be seen across Pennsylvania.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
We are just getting warmed up on the PIAA Radio Network. More football coming your way tonight. Twin Valley against Southern Lehigh. A couple of newbies on the stage. Neither one of them has ever been to the state championship. One of them's going home with a trophy. Eric Thomas and Travis Sparks will have the call of that one for you tonight. Then tomorrow afternoon, it'll be two teams very familiar with this side of the state championship. Southern Columbia against Farrell. And then tomorrow night, Roman Catholic against Bishop McDevitt in the 5A championship. And then we get into the rematch version on Saturday afternoon in the AAA game with Avonworth taking on Northwestern Lehigh. And we finish it off Pittsburgh Central Catholic and LaSalle Saturday night at 7. 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock are the kickoff times for all of the state football championships, and you will hear them all here on the PIAA Radio Network. In this single A title right now, it is the Clairton Bears on top 28-3, and on the kickoff, a touchback will start Bishop Guilfoyle in their fourth offensive series of this half. Starts 3:48 to go in the third from the 20, and again, in a huge mountain to climb, down 25 points.
I just will say this about the rest of the weekend. Feed me that 3A rematch right now. That is the one I've had circled probably since like week 3 of the season.
Overtime situation last year as Wheeler again rolls out, and again he's going to see nothing but Clairton Bears around him, and he's going to get wrapped up and dropped on the third sack of the game for Clairton. This one will drop the quarterback back at the 11 and a loss of 9.
Avon Pompey again showing that speed for the big guy. Get in the backfield. They are just controlling this line of scrimmage with ease right now is Clairton. Right now, it doesn't even look like BG is going to get close to the 50. I mean, they have just completely shut the door on this Guilfoyle offense. It's almost like that drive before the half that BG went on to get the field goal woke them up.
2nd and 19, backed up to the 11. Stokey splits out on the right side. Looks like Kissel's now going to be the quarterback. And he will carry it himself, and the Clairton knows what's coming. And they're going to wrap him up, a gain of maybe a yard to the 12. That's it. It's going to be 3rd and very long.
This is unbelievable what this Clairton defense is doing right now. I mean, they are just – this is why Wayne Wade said going into the season that he feels like this team defensively is better than the one that he was the defensive coordinator of and then eventually took over as head coach when Tyler Boyd was here.
Going back into the run of 4 straight state championships for Clairton from 2009 to 2012. Tyler Boyd, of course, had a long 9-year career with the Cincinnati Bengals, a 2013 grad at Clairton High School. Now the football field named after him. Wheeler in trouble again. Wheeler trying to avoid the tackle. The ball comes loose. His ego's dropped. Again, back deep in his own territory at the 6. Looks like BG's going to recover the football, but yet another sack by this Clairton defense is going to drop him all the way back to the 6-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down and 24 for Clairton, or excuse me, for Bishop Guilfoyle.
They're basically just telling BG, you're going to have no time to go anywhere with the ball. They're not even bothering. There were guys that if Wheeler had time, he had wide open receiver down the field. Clairton's just, no, we're bringing everybody. We're shutting the whole thing down. How about BG right now, Bob? They have run the ball 19 times for minus 16 yards in this game.
So Bolin will punt from his own end zone. Had a little trouble with it. Barely gets it off. And Murphy fields it on a hop at about the 34. Murphy inside the 25. And Brandon Murphy on the return takes it all the way down to about the 20-yard line. And the Bears knocking on the door one more time late in this third quarter. And looking for what very much would be a knockout blow if they haven't delivered it already. But Clairton right now starts at the BG 20-yard line. Second time in this half they've started in Guilfoyle territory.
Combined 3rd and 4th down. Bishop Guilfoyle is 2 of 11 in this game. They've both run 34 plays. BG 55 yards, Clairton 260 right now. When you factor in the rushing attack, it almost feels like Clairton's had 160 more, like 500 yards of offense, 560 yards of offense in this game.
They bunch Wright and Murphy on the right side. Now Wooding will go in motion as well. A little pop pass to him to let him follow those blockers. He's got the 15, 10, 5, and Terrace Wooding is in the end zone as he's wrestled out of bounds after he crossed the pylon. I believe they're going to say he was in the end zone. Touchdown, Clairton. And that little pop pass, they put Wooding in motion. They let him follow his blockers and takes it home for the score.
It's a clinic. They just have too much speed. They have too much ability. They're hungry for a title. Jeff Thompson said it beginning of the year. He said, I have to win a trophy. That WPIAA one is great, and a lot of teams in Western PA take so much pride in that, but it ain't enough when you're from Clairton. It's got to be the big one, and they are 13-16 away from getting that back.
And again, Williams will come on for the extra point attempt. They just missed the last one. Tyron Armstrong, the sophomore holder for the left-footed kicker, Rajon Williams. And this time, he gets it through. 1 minute, 16 seconds left to go in the third quarter that has been dominated by the Clairton Bears, and they lead it 34-3 when we come back on the PIAA Radio Network.
Believe it or not, at Edgar Snyder and Associates, their competition isn't other law firms. It's the insurance companies. If you've been hurt in an accident, watch out. Insurance companies will short sell you. They will deny your claim. They will do anything they can to avoid paying you. With over 40 years of experience, Edgar Snyder and Associates has seen every trick in the book. They'll fight the insurance company every day to get you the money you deserve. They're available 24/7, so contact them now at 1-800-94-EDGAR. And remember, there's never a fee unless they get money for you.
The PIAA is honored to have St. Luke's University Health Network, a nationally recognized entity in sports medicine, as the official medical provider of the PIAA Championships. St. Luke's University Health Network is a top 100 major teaching hospital which provides care to athletes ranging from youth sports to professional athletes in Pennsylvania. St. Luke's Sports Medicine offers comprehensive athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training for individual athletes and teams. St. Luke's is proud to have been chosen to support the Champions of Pennsylvania as the official medical provider of the PIAA Championships.
For over 100 years, Wilson has been an icon on the gridiron, delivering the elite performance on more high school football fields than any other brand, as well as being the official football of the NFL and NCAA. Where there's football, there's Wilson. Learn more at wilson.com. 35-3, the Clairton Bears dominating the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders, and Bishop Guilfoyle will put that offense right back on the field. I guess that's the good news. Then also the bad news for the Marauders is they've been able to do virtually nothing against this Clairton defense in the second half, still looking for their first down of half number 2. They will start this series 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Again, 6 first downs in the first half for BG, one of them coming the way of a penalty. Jack Gioso was in the huddle. Now he comes out as Listoki will split out as on the right side as the lone receiver split out. Wheeler will take the handoff, or will take the snap and hand it off for Kissel. Kissel get a couple, and that's it. As Deion Pompey will come up to make the tackle at about the 29-yard line, a gain of 2 for Kissel.
Fair defense led by
our producer this weekend, James Dotson, he and I worked together all football season long. We've talked about it really from the start of the season, how good single A was on the western side of the state, and whoever got through that in the WPIAL was probably going to be the favorite to win the state title. Well, 7 tackles for loss, commanding defensive effort. This Clairton team has proved us right.
Toss sweep, trying to get Kissel around the edge. There is no edge. Nothing but Clairton Bears there to wrap up Kissel. And right around the line of scrimmage, make it 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, there's just nothing on the corners, and we said this time after time today, too. BG's just going to let this thing go down at the end of the quarter. I think that may be the smart play to kind of compose yourself here for the final 12 minutes. But this is a team that you cannot go lateral against. You need to have elite level speed and that type of player. You need to have Brandon Murphy on your team, the equal of Brandon Murphy on your team, to be able to get to the edge against this Clairton team. They are too quick. They cut those off. There has not been an edge, again, that BG has won in this game all afternoon.
21-0 score in the third quarter alone in favor of Clairton. We'll head to the final 12 minutes when we come back to Carmel Valley High School in the Single A Championship game where the Clairton Bears lead Bishop Guilfoyle 35-3.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Today's game is streaming on the NFHS Network. With the NFHS Network, you can watch live and on-demand high school sports on any device, wherever you are. Text your friends and family who aren't at the game and invite them to watch live now at nfhsnetwork.com or with the NFHS Network app for Apple and Android.
If you think you can make the calls, become a PIAA official. Make some extra cash, stay in shape, and enjoy interscholastic sports, all while making a difference in your community. Head to PIAA.org for more information.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
We start quarter number 4 alongside Eric Thomas. My name is Bob McCool on the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders backed up in their own territory, and they try a little jump screen pass from Wheeler, throwing it to Kissel, but again, just surrounded by Clairton. Whoever has the football, there are multiple Clairton Bears around him as Kissel gets wrapped up at about the 32. They pick up about 3 yards on it, but here's another 4th down for the Marauders.
You know, I said this to you during the timeout there, Bob. I'm not sure that this Clairton team would win any of the other classes. It's tough to say that because you get these elite teams that make it here and everything. This defense would keep them in any game against anybody else playing here this weekend. That's how good I think they are. Wayne Wade's not wrong. I mean, we both saw that Clairton team when they were on their run in the state finals. He is not wrong.
Here comes a fake. They're going to throw it, and it had a man, but he dropped the football. They threw the fake in, slant in for Jack Gioso, and he dropped the football. It would have been a first down pickup, but instead, Clairton will take over on downs.
I mean, you got to draw something up if you're Justin Wheeler. I can't blame him for going to that anywhere at any point in the game, but it's just been that kind of afternoon. Schimminger just couldn't hang on to it, and here we go, plus territory, 32-yard line, and this is going to be a quick fourth quarter if Clairton continues to do what it's been doing here in the second half. How about the third quarter? Clairton ran 10 plays for 98 yards. They've been living on the BG half of the field where they start again. BG 15 plays, minus 12 yards. They averaged negative 0.8 yards of play in the third quarter. This is an elite-level high school football defense right now.
So they start at the Bishop Guilfoyle 32-yard line. They put Murphy in motion. They hand it off to him. He takes a pop, bounces off that hit from Kashadi, and gets back to about the line of scrimmage, and then maybe another yard forward, bring up about a yard and make it 2nd down and 9. So the first time that they've put Murphy in a handoff situation. They've thrown to him on multiple occasions, including for a touchdown. 4 catches for Murphy. And now his first rushing attempt. He'll put the Bears in a 2nd and 9 at the 31. Now Ruffin is the motion man. They hand it off to him, and they toss it back to Thompson on the reverse. Thompson wants to throw it in the direction of right, who out jumps the defender, makes the catch, still on his feet at the 10, and finally gets dumped at about the 7-yard line. Just throw it up in the air and let the player make the play, and it's Dante Wright who makes the play, and a flag down on the play.
Yeah, we're on the far side of the field. I wonder what this is about.
And they put Thompson out as a receiver, put him in motion. They little pop for Ruffin, who then tossed it back to Thompson. And then Thompson rolls back the other way to throw the football.
Is that like elite level Philly right there?
It's going to be penalty is what it's going to ultimately end up in. About to get the call here from Jeremy Hospitor, our referee.
Interesting.
He signaled a legal forward pass, and I'm going to guess because he was lined up as a receiver that he was probably covered up and ineligible, therefore not able to throw a forward pass if he was not in a eligible position at the beginning of the play.
Now we have the officials. James Dotson gives us the call. Appreciate that. I thought it was what he was signaling. It was an illegal forward pass. And so they'll back up Clairton instead back to the 39-yard line. And it will put them in a 3rd down. It's also a loss of down. So it puts them in a 3rd down and about 15 or 16 to get the first down. 17 is what they'll officially make it. 3rd and 17.
It's a heck of a play, though. A great job by Wright. That ball thrown to the inside. He made a great effort on it.
Here's a little pitch back this time for Ruffin, trying to turn the edge. Gets a block, 35, and run out of bounds, and a flag goes down afterwards. A little extra going on right now between Dakota Harris and some Marauder players.
Now, Ruffin took a shot there at the end of the play, too. The flag's in the middle of the field. I think Ruffin might have actually just slipped. He kind of ran into a BG player. And
2 flags on the play. There's one.
Yeah, so maybe there is one over here on this.
There's one back on the far side from where the original line of scrimmage was, and then on the run as well. So a hold against Clairton. They'll decline that. They'll take the second penalty, which is another hold. So there's 2 holds on the play.
So one was down the field, which would have been from that spot. The other one's back at the line of scrimmage, so they'll take the one at the line of scrimmage.
So Clairton going in the wrong direction right now. The one thing, if there's a blemish on the Bears' attack today, it's been the penalties. Unofficially, that's 10 penalties now against Clairton. And this will back them up once they mark this off to what should be close to midfield. 10 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in this football game. Don't forget, a whole lot more football coming your way tonight. 7 o'clock will be start time for the 4A game. That's Twin Valley against Southern Lehigh. Officials have still not walked off this penalty as of yet. Obviously, they're going to assess it. There was 2 penalties on the play, so the ball should be at the 49. It'll remain third down now for Clairton. It should be third and about 27.
Back to the 49-yard line.
So the pass had been completed and the play stood. Clairton headed 1st and 10 at the 11. Instead, they're 3rd and 27 back at the 49 of Bishop Guilfoyle. Clairton will split 2 receivers to the right for Thompson and 1 to his left. Going to set up a screen pass in the middle field for Wright. Wright looking for some blockers. 45 and 40. 35 still on his feet. And another flag goes down as Wright goes down shy of the 35-yard line.
I think we're going to get a block in the back down the field on Clairton. You're right about the penalties, though. If there is one hiccup on this team, majority of this team, I saw this team 2 seasons ago against Leechburg, 24 penalties in that game for 209 yards. They still had 400 yards of offense and still scored 42 points. I mean, their discipline has been better this year, for sure. I mean, they're much cleaner this year than what they've been.
So another hold against Clairton. And that's going to be from the spot, so they'll push this back to the 50-yard line. It'll now be 3rd down and 28 for the Bears, who are headed towards Route 11. They're just going in the wrong direction right now. 3rd down and 28 from the 50-yard line. Clock continue to run right now at 9:45 left to go. Again, a score here for Clairton with the mercy rule in effect in this 4th quarter. We're going to go back to that T formation now. Enough of the trick plays. There are too many holding penalties. They're going to hand it off for Armstrong. Stiff arms his way out of 1 tackle to the 45-40 and finally run out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Tevez Armstrong more so in there for his blocking, gets a chance to carry the football and picks up about 15 yards.
That's just his 3rd carry of the year. Brody Gartman was the one that took him out of bounds, but at the end of the run there, Armstrong just lowering the shoulder and throwing a punishing blow to the defender. Gartman actually knocked him down. This Clairton team is just playing with a different level of physicality in this game. I mean, we knew that they had the talent, the speed, and to put it all together, but their physicality is really, to me, what separates them from most teams, especially at that single-A level.
So Armstrong picked up 15 on 4th and 13. They're going to hand it off to Murphy, lined up as one of those backs in that T formation. Murphy will get a little, but not enough for the 1st down, although he's not going to out easily. And eventually it'll be Bishop Guilfoyle football when this is all said and done, as Murphy stopped at the 29-yard line. And on downs, Bishop Guilfoyle gets the football back.
Threw it back to Thompson after the forward progress was stopped. Trying to make something happen. I mean, look, you try and whatever you can. I mean, this game's been in hand now for the better part of the last 10 minutes or so. So no, I mean, Clairton again is not going to punt the football or kick a field goal. Or, they got 4 downs. They're going for it on all 4 downs. They don't care. I think the question now is, can BG at the end of the game here, can they mount something? Because from a roster standpoint, there is a ton of talent that is going to come back next year. This team needs to finish this game strong, get some things on film that they can build upon for next year, and start working with it in the offseason.
Guess Kissel will be the quarterback. And again, They have just not been able to get him on track at all. He's run for almost 1,600 yards on the year before this game began, and not much more than that right now because they have bottled him up.
Now Kissel, he's been okay though. I mean, he's been the leading receiver today, but rushing-wise, 8 attempts and he's only gained 13 yards. His long carry today, 6 yards. So they definitely keyed on him, and where they wore Belmont Charter down a week ago in the semifinals, Clairton has said, forget that. You're not doing any of that stuff to us today.
2nd and 8 at 31. Kissel's going to throw a little jump pass from him. Pass is caught by Schimminger. Schimminger bounces off a tackle to 35 and gets to about the 37-yard line. A gain of 6 puts the Marauders now in a 3rd and 2.
That's what I'm talking about, Bob. I mean, you have a lot of key players on this team that are back next year for BG. Wheeler's going to be back. They're going to lose Kissel, but Keegan Hewitt, who we haven't seen in this game, talented rusher, he's going to be next in line. Schimminger's a junior. Giosa's a junior. So they need to finish this game strong. They need to get some positivity and put some things on film here to work with going into next year.
Well, they get their first down here the second half as Kissel will take it on the carry himself on that snap back to the quarterback. And he'll run for enough to move the chains. 1st and 10 as the Marauders now have it at the 43-yard line. Stat from our producer James Dotson. Right now with the 9 yards they've just picked up, it is total yards for Clairton 303, for BG 74. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line, and Kissel wants to throw for it. Out pattern looking for Schimminger. It's over his head and incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Stops the clock with 7:29 left to go in the football game.
Dante right on the cover.
Now Wheeler will check back in for Bishop Guilfoyle. Akanak, who's usually in there as a blocking fullback, or if an H-back will come out.
This BG team last year, they averaged almost 10 yards a play in their win against Port Allegheny. They ran for 302 yards on 29 rushes last year, and they only attempted 7 passes, but they had 5 rushing touchdowns and just controlled the line of scrimmage in a game that, I
start Marauders.
Certainly did not see that game as we had a false start on Guilfoyle. Last year, I thought they were going to have problems with Port Allegheny, the way they ran the football, Aiden Bliss and company. But BG last year just hammered them up front. This year, complete script flip. This defense, too talented, too strong. They play with too much physicality, and this Clairton defense has controlled this game, and they've controlled the line of scrimmage all day.
Wheeler looking for the big hit down the field, but it's going to get picked off. He was looking for Listokey, but it's going to be intercepted by Dante Wright. And Bishop Guilfoyle will turn it over right back to Clairton on the 3rd turnover by this Bear defense.
The Bears take over 1st and 10.
So Dante Wright with the interception, the 2nd pick of the game for Clairton's defense. And the Bears with 7:19 to go get the football back, 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
They live by a motto: if the opposing team can't score, we can't lose. And today, Bishop Guilfoyle has not been able to score, and Clairton is not going to lose. Their defense right now is just, again, it's like a broken record when I keep saying it. They're playing at a completely different level, an elite level of defense here in this game today. This is going to be among the best rush defense performances, maybe the best. A little tough to find the team stats, but it might be the best that we've ever seen in terms of rush defense in a state final.
So the Bears will get the football to start now at the 38-yard line with 7 minutes and change remaining in the football game. Thompson looked like he wanted to hand it off, but there was nobody there, so he's going to keep it himself, and he's going to keep running with it. And now he's across midfield, and the flag goes down as Thompson goes down in Marauder territory at about the Bishop Guilfoyle 40-yard line. Looked like there was a mishandle or mistimed on the snap exchange, or the handoff exchange, and Thompson decided to just keep it running himself. And a flag down after the big run for Thompson, so we'll see what that's all about.
Well, and I'm going to tell you right now, officially, unless they can rack up some more, this is going to be the 3rd or 2nd fewest it would be right now rushing yards, 3rd fewest rushing yards ever given up in a PIAA state title game.
So the penalty is going to be against Clairton on the run. It's going to spot the ball at the 40-yard line. So it was a couple yards downfield. So it brings it back to the 40, and it'll make it 1st down and 8 now for the Bears.
1st and 8.
Yeah, Mount Carmel gave up -14 against Shadyside.
Right on the handoff, shakes loose of a tackle on his own backfield. Rocco Casciati thought he had him for a moment, couldn't wrap him up as Wright kicks it outside instead and runs it to about the 43 or 44-yard line. Puts the Bears in a 2nd down and about 5 or so to pick up the 1st down once they spot the football, which will be at the 44. We'll go call it 2nd and 4.
And I know this is going to come as a surprise to you, but in 1989, a George Curry defense allowed only -26 against Perry. So this is right now the 3rd best rush defense performance ever in PIAA championship history.
6:50 left to go. Thompson wants to throw for it. Has a man just beyond the sticks. The pass is caught and ultimately into Bishop Guilfoyle territory. Murphy on the receiving end of that pass, but another flag on the play. So the flags right now getting rampant in this 4th quarter, but it looks like they're actually looking to the Clairton side, which would indicate that this one's going to be against Bishop Guilfoyle. The play will stand. It'll be a 1st down if that's the case. A personal foul penalty against Clairton. So that might be at the end of the play, which will back them up to the 36-yard line. But I think the 1st down
moves the ball back to the 36-yard line.
They may have gotten it. If it's after the play, which I believe it was, it'll be a fresh set of downs on a 1st down. So that's going to lead us to a timeout on the field. With 6 minutes and 45 seconds left to go, we'll sort everything out when we get back. It's 35-3, Clairton in command of this single A championship.
A timeout.
Today's game is streaming live on the NFHS Network. With the NFHS Network, you can watch live and on-demand high school sports on any device, wherever you are. You can relive all the incredible moments from today's matchup on demand at nfhsnetwork.com or with the NFHS Network app for Apple and Android.
For over 100 years, Wilson has been an icon on the gridiron, delivering elite performance on more high school football fields than any other brand, as well as being the official football of the NFL and the NCAA. Where there's football, there's Wilson. Learn more at wilson.com.
6:45 left to go, and the Bears right now getting a little sloppy in this particular spot in the game with committing the penalties, and personal foul penalty backs them up. So the play gave them the 1st down, but the dead ball pushed them backwards to the 36-yard line. But they do get 4 more plays here on a 1st and 10 now, backed up to the 36-yard line on the completion to Murphy. There's a little pop pass as they put Jace Booker in motion. And Booker will take it to about the 40 when it's all said and done and pick up about 4 yards. So they put him in motion, give it to him on that little pop pass. And he picks up a few yards. They're actually going to spot him at the 41, a gain of 5. Be 2nd down and 5.
Jace Booker on the
second catch of the day for Booker. Gotta love that if you're a quarterback, because those count as completed passes. It's a great way to drive up your completion percentage. So all you got to do is push it forward to let the guy catch it in midair on mid-stride. Booker will come split out on the right side with Wooding. Murphy split out on the left. Pompey not in the game offensively right now for Clairton on a 2nd and 5 at the 41. Wright remains the back in the backfield. Now we're going to whistle before the snap of the football. And looks like there's a flag again on a delay of game penalty against the Bears. So they pick up a little, but then they give it right back on a penalty. And they'll make it 2nd and 10.
How about Clairton with the penalties here? More penalty yards than BG's got total offense in this game. It happens. This is what you don't like to see, though, when you're trying to close these things out.
Thompson will keep it himself. Not going to happen here as he'll get wrapped up to the ball come loose. As Thompson gets hit quickly. Jesse Georgiana was there to help make the tackle with help from Hayden Hosgood. Got a little misdirection and let Thompson keep it himself, but didn't fool the Marauder defense. They wrap him up at the 35. A loss of a yard makes it 3rd down and 11.
It's 3rd down. It's 3rd and 11.
Bob, I think that was another backyard play. You were trying to pitch it late, but it was already called down for forward progress being stopped.
So Thompson loses a yard on the play. Makes it 3rd and 11. 5:10 remaining. Toss pitch left side for Wright, trying to get away. Kissel has him, won't let him get away. Wrap him up and they'll blow the whistle and the play dead. Back on a loss on the play, back to about the 32 or 33 yard line.
Dante Wright on the carry. Jake Kissel.
And this, we would assume, based on where we are, will be the first Clairton punt. However, it is 4th down and it may not be. Although they backed up on their own side of the field. They 4th down and about 15 to pick up the 1st down. And I stand corrected. They are not going to punt the football. 4:25 left to go. Wayne Wade says, let's go for it. 4th and 15 at the 31-yard line.
Again, I mean, you give them 4 downs. You got to use them, right?
Thompson looks left, looks back the other way. Pass is caught. I believe that's Murphy on the catch. He'll pick up something, but not nearly enough as he's wrapped up at about the 35-yard line. And so on downs, the Marauders will get the football back, and they'll get it in Clairton territory. So this is a first in the second half for BG to be in Clairton territory.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Marauders of the Bishop Guilfoyle.
See if Clairton can hang on to that stat, the -8, or even make it better. So again, the 2 top, and I looked this up, and PA football history does a great job with the record book. Those guys, phenomenal in compiling everything. So Berwick allowed -26 back in '89, and then in '98, Mount Carmel allowed -14 rushing to Shadyside Academy. This would stand as the 3rd best rush defensive performance here by any team in a PIAA final. And I mean, nobody did anything against those Berwick defenses back then.
Wheeler throws it, pass is caught and hit immediately, and Brandon Murphy applies the stick. Pass was caught, or are they going to say it was an incomplete pass? The receiver may not have ever had the ball. I think they're going to say it was a completed pass. It was Kissel, and he took a pop from Brandon Murphy. Pass is caught for a gain of actually a loss back to the 39-yard line. Loss of 4 on a completed pass.
Well, and you want to add up what Clairton's done here the last 2 years, too. I mean, you're talking about a defense that a season ago, they played at an elite level last year. The last 2 years, coming into play here today, they had 89 tackles for loss, 48 sacks, 26 picks. Last 2 years, 20 shutouts. They outscored opponents 1,100 to nothing in those 20 games. Today, you add in what they've done in this game, and I mean, the numbers the last 2 years are they're off the charts.
Wheeler rolls out. Kissel has to come off for a play here. Wheeler's in trouble. He's going to shake loose of that trouble and turn this into a positive gain as Justin Wheeler's run out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. See if he got enough for the 1st down. Doesn't look like he's going to be quite there as he's run out of bounds. A couple yards short of that at the 29-yard line will put them in a 3rd down and about 4 to pick up the 1st down.
It's 200 tackles for loss for this team in the last 2 years. That is unheard of, what they do to opponents.
So the clock does stop as Wheeler was bumped out of bounds with 3:32 left to go in the football game. Now Wheeler's going to come out. Kissel's back in after getting shaken up, but this is going to be a timeout called, I believe, by Bishop Guilfoyle. No flag on the play. Timeout called before that, so the Marauders will avoid the penalty as the play clock was winding down. So we'll take one more quick timeout and back with the final few moments of this single A championship game. 35-3 Clairton on top. BG with a football when we come back after this.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, Life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Some see a high school football stadium. We see a place where Pennsylvanians come together as a community. The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA creating opportunities for student athletes to be seen across Pennsylvania.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
3 minutes, 32 seconds remaining in the football game. A low snap to Justin Wheeler. He's got the football. He shakes loose of a tackler, tries to throw it a little out pattern to the sideline, but it's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Schimminger, but it's an incomplete pass. It's going to bring up 4th down now for the Marauders.
Incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
I got to give BG a little bit of credit here for continuing to just, fight. We said a couple minutes ago about you got to play all 48 minutes. Enough underclassmen on this team. They're going to be one of the favorites next year in Single A. There's a lot of turnover with the powers like Fort Cherry and with this Clairton team for sure, although there's still a ton of talent on this Clairton team next year as well. But there's going to be some turnover in Single A, which was a really good class this year, and BG will be back in the hunt next year. So you got to do some things here to keep some film and work on some things in the offseason.
Wheeler roll out to his left. The right-hander stops. Nothing there, and he'll try to go backwards, but he won't get there as Devez Armstrong catches him from behind and drops him for a loss. That'll go as the 5th sack for this Clairton defense, and 4 of them have come here in this second half.
Yeah, they've just been relentless. And, the only reason BG was on their side of the 50 on that drive was because of going for it on 4th down. Otherwise, they haven't earned the 50 in this second half. This Clairton defense has completely shut the door on them and showing, again, the elite level that they have defensively, the speed, the power. We're seeing Murphy still hitting guys late in this game and Armstrong not giving up on the play. This team just has the total package defensively.
So the Bears will take possession now with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the football game. And Clairton about to lock up its 5th state championship as Thompson will hand it off and looking for some daylight. As Dante Wright on the handoff will pick up a couple. Spot him at about the 45 and a gain of 3. Looking through some numbers for Clairton before this game, and for Dante Wright, doesn't have a touchdown today, but he's got 40 in his career, 23 of them as a rusher. He's caught 14 touchdown passes, kickoff return for a score, fumble return for a score, and interception for a return.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's like the Darrell Revis special, except he did it in one game.
One game, yeah. Yeah, Revis, my goodness.
The 2003 state championship game where Darrell Revis scored 5 touchdowns 5 different ways.
The only thing close I've seen to Revis in the final was Daquan Hardy a couple years ago for Penn Hills.
Yeah, 100-yard interception return, among other things. Here's Wright in a backfield pinch. Going to throw it backwards for Thompson. The playground is alive, and Thompson is going to throw this one into the Bishop Guilfoyle bench and live to see another day. So things have become a bit haphazard in this 4th quarter with Clairton in command, and a flag is also thrown on the play. Wright was in a pinch and just lateraled it backwards to Thompson, and Thompson made the smart play by just throwing it out of bounds to stop the play. But there's also a flag on the play.
While they discuss it, can we talk PIAA officiating class right here?
Absolutely.
There was the original quarterback, the one who received the snap is the one who threw it out of bounds, correct?
Correct.
That's
correct.
That's the only way that's a legal play. Any other player in high school football throws the ball out of bounds to avoid intentional grounding, cannot do it. Presence of mind to pitch it back first off, but then, that is a legal pass out of bounds. However, body's probably about 30 yards down the field like normal on a play like that as well.
Yeah, ineligible man downfield. Again, it was supposed to be a running play to right, and then they just turned it into, well, I don't want it, you take it. And then Thompson just threw it out of bounds. So in the meantime, one of the linemen had snuck down the field. And so that will wipe all that fun and games out.
Also unsportsmanlike, though, against Bishop Guilfoyle will still end up giving a first down nonetheless to the Bears.
So the Clairton will get a first down as a byproduct of the personal foul penalty at the end of the play. So Clairton has the football now back in BG territory at the Marauder 45-yard line. 2 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. And again, unfortunately, this fourth quarter has kind of just fallen apart with players making all kinds of silly mistakes right now. Most of them on the Clairton side, but now BG, a little frustration, commits a personal foul penalty. Back the handoff to Wright, kicks it outside. Wright takes it inside the 40. Wright still on his feet, does not go out of bounds, and will take it for a first down run all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Oh, how great was that to stay in bounds and keep the clock moving? He could have, like you said, stepped out of bounds, but actually made a little cut back into the field of play, keep the clock working. That's a heads-up play by Wright.
Takes it to the 32-yard line on the first down keeper, but ends up being a 13-yard run for Dante Wright as we hit the 2-minute mark here of this fourth quarter. And don't forget, this is just the start here on the PIAA Radio Network of 6 state championship games. One more tonight with the 4A game in Twin Valley and Southern Lehigh. And a couple of backs who have had monster seasons for Twin Valley and Drew Engel and Sean Steckert for Southern Lehigh. Steckert needs 89 yards tonight for Southern Lehigh for a 3,000-yard season.
That's going to be a great game later tonight. I like seeing those 2 first-time entries into the state final round as well. You know, it's nice, and you get a taste of history when you get these historic programs that come back, and we got a bunch of them here this weekend with these 2, with Southern Columbia, with Farrell, with McDevitt. You know, there's just all over the place. Pitt Central Catholic. But it's nice when you get those first-time entries into this round and just how they're going to approach this game. It's going to be cold tonight. It's going to be just a hard-hitting, physical game coming up later tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
A delayed game penalty backed up Clairton, and they hand it off. They get actually a loss on the play back to the 38. So with all of this, it's going to be second down coming up for Clairton, and by the time the Bears snap this football, it'll be inside of a minute left to go. We mentioned about the roster numbers for Clairton, so it's not like they can just take a bunch of guys out and bring in a bunch of other guys. They only have 33 players on their roster, so there's only so many guys who are not out there to begin with when you're running 11 guys out on both sides of the football. So Wayne Wade is substituting a few players in here in this final moment, with the Bears in a second down and 16 at the 38. So Clairton will line up here and take a knee, it would appear. But before that happens, there's yet another penalty against Clairton. So they'll back them up, and they'll back up 5 more yards before Clairton will take a snap and take a knee here. And it'll be great feeling here for senior quarterback Jeff Thompson to be able to line up in victory formation. Takes one knee and may have to take one more, and that's it. The Clairton Bears have already begun to celebrate. They will not have to take another snap. A dominant performance, especially in this second half, as Clairton just shuts down the Marauders of Bishop Guilfoyle High School, and they win their 5th PIAA championship. The final score, Clairton 35, Bishop Guilfoyle 3. We'll be back with the trophy presentation and a wrap-up of the Single A Championship live on the PIAA Radio Network.
Thank you for over 40 years of trust. During those years, we've helped thousands of people just like you, our neighbors. We're here for you. We're here for our community. We're here for our region. The people that we worry about the most are the people who never hire an attorney. That's what the insurance company wants. When you do call us, you'll know that you have the firm with over 40 years of experience. And remember, there's never a fee unless we get money for you.
The PIAA would like to thank Preferred Headwear and Headbrand supplier Outdoor Cap and Junk Brands for their continued sponsorship of PIAA athletics. Their products are built to perform with style from the sidelines to the stands. Visit junkbrands.com to learn more.
What is life-changing medicine? The discovery of cancer at the earliest possible stage? challenging limits and transforming the impossible into reality, or connecting people to doctors and specialists when they need it most. At UPMC, we believe life-changing medicine is all those things. Our goal is to change the world of medicine and the lives of those around us. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Today's game is streaming on the NFHS Network. With the NFHS Network, you can watch live and on-demand high school sports on any device, wherever you are. Text your friends and family who aren't at the game and invite them to watch live now at nfhsnetwork.com or with the NFHS Network app for Apple and Android.
If you think you can make the calls, become a PIAA official. Make some extra cash, stay in shape, and enjoy interscholastic sports, all while making a difference in your community. Head to PIAA.org for more information.
Welcome back to our post-game show where the Clairton Bears defeat the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders. Again, the Marauders, the District 6 champions, and right now being presented with the runner-up trophy. But your District 7 champion, the Clairton Bears, are about to get the championship trophy in Single A here in the PIAA Football Championships.
Harris Wooding, Avon Pompey, Mike Ruffin, Keon Pompey, step forward as District 7 Executive Chairman, Mr. Scott Seltzer, will now present the 2025 PIAA Class A Championship Trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bears of Clairton High School, congratulations.
It's all right. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right.
I have a feeling there might be a little bit of celebrating going on tonight in Clairton. Wayne Wade and the Clairton Bears win the championship, again, their 5th title. And I don't know, Eric, he's probably even older than me, but somebody once upon a time said defense wins championships. And the Clairton Bears are champions because their defense is elite.
Yeah, unbelievable performance by this defense tonight, and I think they needed it too because some of the games that they've played, now the last 2 for them against Greenville and Laurel were just lower score. I mean, they didn't allow anything to Greenville last week. They really weren't tested by them. But Laurel was a physical game in which they put the clamps on them, and I think they needed to have these final 3 performances because some questions about, when they were struggling with Jeanette and having to hold them off, like if their defense was still as good, and it was kind of shocking when they were giving up these points in the WPIAL playoffs. They come back the last 3 weeks and just slam the door on all 3 opponents defensively. In fact, now we did look this up. This is actually the 4th best rush defense performance in the state final. We did a little bit deeper research. Southern Columbia against Sarah Catholic in 2021, minus 72 yards rushing for Sarah Catholic in that game. So that's actually number 1. Berwick 2, Mount Carmel 3, and this Clairton defense here this afternoon 4. They're an elite level defense. They're one of the best I've seen in probably 15, 20 years doing the state finals or covering the state finals. That's one of the best defensive performances I've ever seen, and this team's got a lot to be proud of. It's been a work in progress, and it all came to fruition this season. They get their title back. They feel like they should have been on top of the mountain before. They had to go through the defending champs to get there. And boy, did they ever here this afternoon.
So the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders will finish their season at 13-3 on the year. Clairton finishes at 15-1 and a PIAA state championship. 35-3 the final score. Clairton with a victory over Bishop Guilfoyle. We're going to take a timeout. We come back on the PIAA Radio Network. James Dotson will run through everything that happened this afternoon and set you up for tonight's 4A championship as well. You're listening to the state championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Believe it or not, at Edgar Snyder and Associates, their competition isn't other law firms. It's the insurance companies. If you've been hurt in an accident, watch out. Insurance companies will short sell you. They will deny your claim. They will do anything they can to avoid paying you. With over 40 years of experience, Edgar Snyder and Associates has seen every trick in the book. They'll fight the insurance company every day to get you the money you deserve. They're available 24/7, so contact them now at 1-800-94-EDGAR. And remember, there's never a fee unless they get money for you.
Some see a high school football stadium. We see a place where Pennsylvanians come together as a community. The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA creating opportunities for student athletes to be seen across Pennsylvania.
You're listening to the PIAA Football Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Get a head start on your career in exciting fields like science, communication, engineering, and medicine, along with tuition assistance in the Pennsylvania National Guard. To learn more about the Pennsylvania National Guard, check out Join PA Guard on Facebook and Instagram, or go to nationalguard.com/PA.
Welcome to the postgame show on the PIAA Radio Network. With a recap of the game, here's James Dotson.
Dominating performance, to say the very least, there for the Clairton Bears. A 35-3 victory over Bishop Guilfoyle. The Bears are PIAA champions yet again for the first time since they won the 4 in a row in the Tyler Board area from 2009 to 2012. Big thanks, Bob McCool and Eric Thomas on the call for the game. We'll be back for the 7 o'clock kickoff as well. For the nightcap tonight, Southern Lehigh and Twin Valley, each their first trip to a state final. That's, again, a 7 o'clock airtime, kickoff at about 7:10 tonight here for that Class 4A championship. But looking back at this one here today, Clairton early and often jumped on the board with a couple of defensive plays, but a nice drive capped off from this touchdown on their second official drive of the game.
Pickup. It's 1st and 10 now for Clairton. Not a position and not a team that wants to kick the football. So on 4th and 9 for Clairton at the Guilfoyle 13-yard line, they're going to go for it. Thompson looks right, throws back to left to Murphy, looking for a block. Murphy has the 10, the 5, dives for the pylon. Is he in? Touchdown, Clairton. They just threw a little screen pass for Murphy. He got one block and did the rest himself.
Superman style, one of the best plays that you'll probably see all weekend long. Diving in for the touchdown from about 5 or 6 yards out, actually, for that opening score of the game. Made it 6-0. Clairton would get the ball back right away in the second quarter. Get a short field, 2 plays after a fumble recovery. Dion Lovelace Pompey doing what he does best.
He has the back, and he's got a hole. He's got a 20, 15, 10. Dante Pompey, Dion Pompey is in the end zone on a huge hole off right tackle, and the Bears add on.
Made it 14-0, and then Bishop Guilfoyle really, I don't want to say their only drive of the game, but in the end, they got about 60 yards of offense in that drive. They finished the game with 77 yards of offense. So they got almost their entirety of their offense on this drive. 15 plays, 8 minutes off the clock. They have to settle for 3, though, at the end of the first half.
I move laterally.
Carter Bolin on to attempt a 28-yard field goal. The kick is plenty long enough, and it's good. So the Marauders are finally on the board. It took a better part of 8 minutes off the second quarter clock. And when we get back to Cumberland Valley High School,
they're able to then hold Clairton. It was a 14-3 score at the half. And Bishop Guilfoyle got the ball to start the second half, but it was the Clairton defense this time stepping up and getting points on the board. Lovelace Pompey yet again.
3rd and 5. Wheeler, a little slant in. Round is picked off. Intercepted by Clairton. It's Dion Pompey. He's going to take it in for the touchdown. They went for the little slant and pass for Lestokey, and Pompey jumps the route, picks it off, and takes it in. Touchdown, Clairton.
Made it a score of 22-3. They would get the ball back again. A deep pass from Dante Wright, setting up second rushing, third total touchdown for Dion.
52 yards on the pickup, first and goal from the 7. Back to that T formation. They're going to give it to Pompey. Pompey looking for his third score of the game, and he's going to get it. Dion Pompey shakes loose a tackle at the 5-yard line and will take it in for the Clairton Bear touchdown.
28-3 the score late in the third quarter. With just about 4 minutes left to go in the quarter, Clairton again would get the ball back in a hurry. Why not? One more time. This time a little pop pass. Terrace Wooding on the receiving end.
They bunch Wright and Murphy on the right side. Now Wooding will go in motion as well. A little pop pass to him to let him follow those blockers. He's got the 15, 10, 5, and Terrace Wooding is in the end zone as he's wrestled out of bounds after he crossed the pylon. I believe they're going to say he was in the end zone.
They did eventually rule him for that touchdown. 35-3 to score at the end of 3 quarters. That was your final score after about 30 minutes worth of actual time for a penalty-laden fourth quarter. But the Clairton Bears victorious 35-3 over Bishop Guilfoyle. Again, the now 5-time state champion Clairton Bears. And how about this? Every 1A opponent they played this year, they scored at least 5 touchdowns. The lone exception in the WPIAA championship game where Laurel held them to an 8-6 victory. Bishop Guilfoyle was also in a close game in the quarterfinals, a 7-6 victory over Westinghouse. But down the stretch, they both scored points in the semis. Clairton, the only team putting up the points here today, a 35-3 victory. A couple stats for you. How about 13 of 15 throwing for Thompson for Clairton, 182 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Dante Wright, Brandon Murphy, both stalwarts through the air. 81 yards on 5 catches for Dante Wright, 70 yards on 6 catches for Murphy. He had a touchdown, and you just heard the Wooding touchdown as well. John Lovelace, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 86 yards rushing, and that pick 6 as well. Leading stat getters for Bishop Guilfoyle. Perfect in the first half was the 2 quarterbacks, Wheeler and Kissel, when they were throwing the football. In the end, Wheeler throws 13 of 18 for 61 yards, but the 2 interceptions, including the pick 6 to start the third quarter, those 2 second-half interceptions certainly working against the Marauders, who end up with negative rushing yards in the game as well. Currently listed as -1. We have it as -12 down the stretch, but we'll get the official numbers for you, all those on the PIAA website at the end of this one. 35-3, your final score. Clairton over Bishop Guilfoyle. One game in the books here on the PIAA Radio Network. Again, we'll be back at 7 o'clock getting you ready for the 4A championship between Southern Lehigh and Twin Valley. We'll have coverage of that, and then 2 more games, obviously, on Friday and Saturday as well. Big thanks to our supporting sponsors here, the NFHS Network, Edwards, Snyder & Associates, and UPMC for coverage of all 6 of these championship games on the PIAA Network. One final time, Clairton 35, Bishop Guilfoyle 3. For Eric Thomas and Bob McCool, I'm James Dotson. Congratulations to the Clairton Bears, the Class 1A state champion.
A dominant performance, especially in this second half, as Clairton just shuts down the Marauders of Bishop Guilfoyle High School, and they win their 5th PIAA championship. The final score, Clairton 35, Bishop Guilfoyle 3. We'll be back.